Yes, thank you. Yeah, here I was thinking I could just kick back, put my feet up, hang out in Hooker's side chat for a bit. And yet, here we go. Of course I get an update. A crazy update. Very short. But I feel like, I don't know, while Hooker resets her router, we can we can delve into this a little bit. So let me just pull this up. Okay. So, update. Thanks for coming in here, by the way, everyone. Yeah, you said it, Ali. Fuckery never sleeps. It's true. We'll have no idea. I think Hooker been. Never. She could never. You know what the news is? Well, you will find out. Okay, so Superior Court of Arizona, Maricopa County. Inactive calendar. On the court's own motion, meaning this is what the judge says. This is not the, respondent and pro, whatever. I don't know. I can never remember these terms, but on the court's own motion. Oh, hey, Oda, welcome. Hey, James. It is ordered placing this matter on an inactive calendar for dismissal on July 1st, 2019, without further notice, unless prior to that date a proper decree is entered or filed. A stipulation for dismissal is presented, or a motion to set and certificate of readiness is filed. All parties representing themselves must keep the court updated with address changes. A form may be downloaded at superiorcourt.maricopa.gov/. Yep, and that's it. Interesting. Returned mail, by the way. Clerk of the Court Superior Court Arizona, returned mail. Returned mail received for Kathleen Klein at the following address: 17670 Front Beach Road, number A7, Panama City Beach, Florida, 32413. So still having mail returned. And that's it. Very simple. This was filed, let's see, on the 4th. So 3 days ago. Okay, see, okay. See, I see things like this, and then, or you know what? I totally forgot to actually pull up that hangout where Kat announced that she had finally found representation. Yeah, does anyone? Yeah, most likely certified mail too. Yeah, does anyone have any idea as to why she hasn't changed her address yet? If she's not there and her mail keeps getting returned, does anyone have any, I don't know, anyone want to, I don't know, let's throw some theories out there. Andy. I had a huge commercial. Thanks. Oh, sorry. Okay, I can repeat. Thank you for, I guess, letting it roll. I don't know. Okay, so because yeah. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I'll pull this up again. It's very quick, so I will read it. Okay, so inactive calendar on the court's own motion. This was on the 7th, June 7th. It is ordered placing this matter in the inactive calendar for dismissal on July 1st, 2019, without further notice, unless prior to that date a proper decree is entered or filed. A stipulation for dismissal is presented, or a motion to set and certificate of readiness is filed. All parties representing themselves, hint, hint, Must keep the court updated with address changes. A form may be downloaded at blah, 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 blah. Yeah, totally. Leading to 10 years. Yeah, a day for, yeah, totally. Yeah, 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 it's stalling, definitely. Wow. So yeah, okay, so what do you guys think of this, like, I don't know, like, clearly there's one person who's calculating in this whole scenario, and it's not this Larry guy. Like, I don't know, does this change, like, what do you guys make of this whole scenario at this point? I know that we all felt bad for Kat when it first started, but how do you guys feel now? Anyone want to come up and talk about it? And how does she get away with not having a valid address? Yeah. Deceived. Yeah, you especially, Stellar. I'll bet. Like, do you want to come up and talk about this? Like, since you are, you know. I mean, yeah, since you have every right to feel that way. I mean, all things considered, my God. Oh, my iPod's still working, I guess. Any explanation? On which part? It's going to be dismissed on July 1st, essentially, and also the court has returned mail from Kat. Like they keep sending her stuff, but her address, her like legal address is in Panama City, Florida, but she is not in Panama City, Florida, and her mail keeps getting returned. So that's not legal. Like you need to be at the place that you're legally. You have to be where. I mean, for court, they have to be able to get a hold of you. Otherwise, it's like, what is it in breach? Are you in contempt? I'm not even sure what the terms would be, but like, it's not good. Oh, I guess that's still from Voodoo Donuts. I don't know. Sometimes it works. Like, sometimes it doesn't. Some days it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Let's make conclusion. Reducing expenses is to end the court proceedings. I'm thinking dismissing Larry's favor. Yeah, like, I mean, okay, you know what, let's put this together with what I read earlier, okay? Now that we have this. Cat is going to lose. Yep. Wait team never shows up, dumb game and forfeits. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so I'll reread what I read earlier because it was so short. And I feel like just to tie this whole thing together. So, this is from earlier, and this is from. Interesting. Okay, so minute entry, and this was filed on May 20th of this year, 2019. Minute entry. The court has received and reviewed respondent/wife's motion to extend discovery dates filed May 16th, 2019. So she filed that. So he wins by default. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, it happens. Okay, it is ordered petitioner/husband petitioner. Why can I think of that earlier? Petitioner/husbands have filed a response to the motion no later than May 24th, 2019. All parties representing themselves must keep the court updated with address changes. So this was not the first time that she's been warned by the court about this address change. Okay, a form may be downloaded at superiorcourt.maricopa.gov/superiorcourt/law library resource center/ for you, Kat. No, you can't say you didn't see it. Okay, so response and objection to respondent's motion to extend discovery dates. Petitioner Larry Klein, by and through undersigned counsel, objects to respondent's motion to extend discovery dates and presents the following by way of response. The parties were extremely close to a settlement through their original counsel. Unfortunately, on September 18, 2018, respondent changed her mind and fired her then attorney Michael Miller, which firing happened 2 days before the parties scheduled mediation with the Honorable Robert Udolph. Now, we saw that laid out in like the whole, the whole argument against her getting emergency spousal support. Okay, but we didn't get that it was 2 days before the mediation happened. So this is very calculated to extend. Very much so. All right? At least that's the way it looks to me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, so the mediation was therefore postponed at respondent's request for an additional 90 days. Ultimately, petitioner paid for respondent's plane ticket due to her claimed inability to attend the mediation without it. And at the mediation on December 18th, which was, then delayed, so the new mediation, on December 18th, 2018, respondent appeared with a new attorney, Paul Nordini, who demanded half of petitioner's 2018 business revenue and demanded a business valuation, but didn't even understand that the valuation he had requested was a Rauschenberg calculation due to the fact that the business is petitioner's premarital and therefore sole and separate property. Nordini and his bluster lasted a very short time indeed, and following Mr. Nordini's withdrawal on February 25th, 2019, respondent has been pro per until May 13th, 2019. While her new counsel is undoubtedly working diligently to sort through the existing orders and disclosures, respondent's deadline has already passed. She has already extended this case unreasonably, looking for an attorney who will tell her what she wants to hear. 1 sec. Respondent does not have an expert. Respondent has been aware since April 4th, 2019 that she would have to have an expert report done by May 17th, 2019. While the date for depositions was extended to May 31st, 2019, and while undersigned counsel attempted to schedule the respondent's deposition in May, neither undersigned counsel nor his predecessor counsel were successful in reaching respondent to schedule it, and therefore the deposition was scheduled far enough out to permit a unilateral scheduling and to give respondent enough time to plan to come to Arizona for her deposition. Yeah, corporate. Yeah. That's just playing games and sounding like hoping to get back together. Yeah, right? Yeah, a common theme in this. That's not even my attention. Hey, zombie, how you doing? Okay. Oh, shit. Come back. Okay. Settlement discussions. Yeah. Settlement discussions have been ongoing since the beginning of the case, but no attorney thus far has been able to control respondent sufficiently to get her to see the case in reasonable fashion. This case needs to end. Every time respondent hires new counsel, it costs petitioner time and money. Enough is enough. Interesting. Yeah, so how many people gave to her so that she could get a new attorney? Because that's gone now. Like, that just got wasted. Yeah, we're talking about Kat's divergent, tale of woe, and, Kat's tale of woe and how it diverges from the reality laid out in these court documents. Basically, the court is going to dismiss this entire case and find in Larry's favor on July 1st. It's been going on for, over a year at this point. It's done. They're all done with it. She fired her first counsel 2 days before they were set to mediate the whole thing and, have it out and have it over with. Then the second guy was, making all these demands for valuations that he wasn't entitled to regarding Larry's business. It was a sole and separate property, so there was no point to it. Then the valuation that they demanded that Kat would have had to have an expert for by a certain date they didn't have. So then she tried to extend the date of deposition again through May because she got a new counsel. And again, how many people gave to her so that she could have this new lawyer? Because that's done. She emailed people asking for money for airfare and hotel. Oh my god, when really they paid for it. That pissed me off. Oh my god. She emailed people for that? This cat's getting divorced. Well, I mean, it has more to do with the fact that she's been soliciting the community for money for certain things that she's claimed it's going to be allocated for, but that we're seeing now in court documents doesn't make any sense. You know, a lot of the things that she's been asking people to fund have actually been funded by Larry. That's sort of a recurring theme that we've seen in all of these court documents. All of this stuff that she's been asking people to pay for, like her health expenses, her like medical expenses, that's been paid by Larry for the entire time. Kat just wouldn't let them like get to her. Like she basically left a voicemail message that wasn't a voicemail message that said like, oh, this person is not accepting calls at this time. So the person from the health insurance plan couldn't get a hold of her and couldn't leave a message. They had a prenup and there's business rights. Apparently they didn't have a prenup, but his business was his sole and separate property when they got married. So like she would have no claim to it, essentially. Living in the condo, returning the mail, or does it go certified? It seems that it's empty. Yeah, apparently she's been using it as yet another storage space. Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it does get worse and worse. Yeah, I'm gonna send David Guns a link because I mean I didn't know about her emailing people, so yeah. If y'all don't mind. 1 second. No, not that. Oh, sweet. Okay. So I will send the link via YouTube Messenger. So if Dave Guns wants to come up here, that would be great. Sorry about this whole like the Nightbot thing. I have to reprogram it or whatever. Oop. Let me see if I can get this. What will she be left with now? Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem, Stellar. I strive for clarity. Just a jar full of jewelry. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's kind of crazy to think that like she was asking people for money to get to Arizona when Larry was footing the bill for that. She had a ticket when the hurricane hit and court was rescheduled. So what happened to that airplane ticket? Monthly legal fees were quite steep and can't envision how that would get paid. June's rent and June's legal fees. Yeah? That's weird. Okay. Kat is going to get royally fucking sore. She's broken. You cannot really good lawyers as well. Yeah, but the thing is, like, she wasn't broke. Like, I mean, she just wants more than what she's entitled to. I mean, I don't know. Like, does it bother you guys that she's been been essentially double dipping? Like, Larry's footing all this stuff, but she's still been trying to get you guys to pay for it. Prepare to see Kat the victim, right? Yeah, hey, what's up, Patch? They're so mean. We're such meanies. We're big meanies. Yeah, I'm seriously hoping David Guns will come up here because, like, yeah, he's got the 411 and all this stuff. Like, I didn't know that she was emailing people for this. Like, yeah, what the fuck? We were so worried about her during the hurricane, and she said she couldn't get out. I know, right? And then she didn't even let anyone know that she was okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll send the link to a few other people, too. So, okay, if I can do this without having to do the whole thing again, it'll be easier. 1 second, we're getting there. Okay, so. One second. Really? There is a $38,000 civil judgment in Bay County, Florida against the condo. Have you seen that document yet, Felicia? No, I haven't, but wow. Go on. You want to send it to me? Sweet. I love you guys. Like, seriously, you rock. Okay, I'm going to send this link out to Stellar because God knows he has a right to have his say with all this. And also Diane and Punk, just because. Stellar hot dogs, Alicia King. Oh my god. You're so mean, Punk. You're such a big meanie. Yeah, sending your money for a situation she created is just dumb, right? Yeah, wow. My secret account. I wish I knew whose secret account you were, because I would send you the link, because you're, like, you're plugged in, shit. Oh, Life with Diane. Here we are. Sent to her. I know what that means, but it sounds like good advice. And Punk just for kicks. Okay. You guys want to come on over here? Yeah, thanks for being here, Zombie. It's good to see you. One second. See. Yeah, let me just screenshot this real fast, I guess. Good thinking. Also, how do you find all this stuff? Bay County, Florida. I'm just what email it is. I guess you can just yeah, use this one, viewerschoice6@gmail.com. Since I'm on it, it'd be easier. Since it has to go to Twitter or Hangout. Okay. Okay, I can do that. 1 sec. Okay, I'll send it, I guess, on Twitter. Old school, kind of. Yeah, thank you, my secret account. Seriously, like, whoever's secret account you are, like, we're good. Yeah, she's the one stretching out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think she's the one stretching out. Absolutely. crashed out, but she hired him later. I don't know, was waiting for money. How long did she keep it up? Yeah. Was there a prenup? It doesn't appear so. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about a prenup. Say it is, right? Okay. Who's paying for these lawyers? Well, apparently both Larry and the community. She's cracked. Yeah, this was the first time she's responsible for herself and she can face up to it. Yeah. Okay. So it's that you can get in the green room, but not. Okay. You know, I had this issue with Punk for a while. Okay. 1 second. It wants to load. Great. Yeah, I cannot face up to that. Let's see. Totally. 1 sec. Why is this so difficult? Why is this so hard? I don't understand. Oh wait, you know what? I bet I could just. Oh, I think I remember what I have to do with for this. Yeah, I have to go to like Hangouts.google, etc., and all that other crap. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I sent the Twitter link, or I sent the link out via Twitter to Diane. So let me see. Hangouts.google.com. Lawyer in your divorce gets segregated. Yeah. Yeah. Probably. I mean, I am. So that too. Oh yes. Yeah. That's fine. Like, yeah. Oh, did someone get on here? Okay, great. Okay, I got one person on here.
One person.
Great.
How you doing?
Yeah. I'm good. How are you? Oh, I should get my.
Good.
Right. Okay. 1 second. Yeah.
I'm mellow
Yeah, pretty
today.
wild, huh?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Oh,
why she
I
just
see.
didn't
Okay.
take. I don't know why she just didn't take the first offer. I mean, there were only a couple of thousand. What? 20? Was it a couple of thousand off?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure I got some of the tail out of the tail. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Right. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, like the first offer was good.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
think we
thing.
should
Like
have
she
stuck with
hasn't.
it.
Yeah, like she hasn't been. I mean, she hasn't been ripped off the way that she said that she's been ripped off. You know.
No, and I'm sure that the judge gets tired of the bullshit too. You know, she's not the only one they have on the docket. You know, there's plenty of others, and she's just wasting court's time. I mean, what, a year and a half already of bullshit?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Clear the RAM with the reset. Yeah. Feedback and sound. Oh, yeah. Do you have your headset or your earbuds on?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. What's wrong?
Yeah, they're saying that there's like feedback.
Okay, hold on. I'll come back.
Oh, okay. I guess it was Diane. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Or can you hear me now? I don't even know. What? What is that? Is that what? What does that mean?
Is that any better? Is there still feedback? I broke my headset, so it might be that's the reason.
Oh. Yeah, it does sound like crickets.
Oh, yeah, that's my background.
Mm,
I'm outside in my
okay.
patio.
Oh, so they're actual crickets.
Yeah, they're actual crickets.
Okay, well that'll do it. I don't know what the first offer was. That stuff wouldn't be
Yeah.
public record.
It'll put
Well,
some people to sleep. Some people you'll just drown it out.
hmm, yeah.
Does it sound better, guys?
Um, yeah, the first offer was public
Gee,
record
Greg, they are
because,
horny crickets.
well, because it was cited in the case against Cat getting uh, the emergency spousal support. You know?
Well, zombie, the offer was in the divorce papers, in the
Hmm.
216-page document. There was
Yeah.
already an offer where she would get what, 600 or 700. First it was 6, and then he upped
Hmm.
it to $700 a month spousal support. They would split everything, and then he was taking a loss of like $200,000.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so just so you guys know, in the internal chat, I put the link to the Hangout that should allow you to get in here, Joe. Or sorry, Stellar. Okay, and I enabled joining by link, so it should make everything better. Hopefully, let's hope. Okay, but yeah, let me read this. Oh, okay. 1 sec.
so she had a good
Mm-hmm.
offer, but she was expecting more money. She wanted more spousal support, which, in a say Kim Kardashian, Kanye West type divorce, for example, if they were to get divorced, yeah, she's got a standard of living. No, not even that, because she's got her own businesses. But a wife that would stay home, she's being supported. She's got her own, um, expenses, and he has given her a life that she, of course, some people expect, 15, 20, $30,000 a month spousal support because of the life that the husband's offered. But she also,
Mm-hmm.
has done some things that don't warrant her to get that much. And who
Yeah,
knows what the paperwork that he has submitted as to what he can afford to give her monthly.
yeah, totally. I
You
mean,
know,
the thing is, like, yeah, I mean, he gave her more than enough in the first offer, but she turned it down because it wasn't good enough. Or well,
exactly.
like, let's be okay. Let's be honest. I mean, she was hoping to stall for time and that he would reconsider, but still, barring that, to at least delay it until 10 years, right?
Right. So they're already what, at 9 years? When is their anniversary? So is it
Something like
before?
8.5 years or something.
Oh, okay, so it's not going to
Yeah.
make it 10 years. Okay.
Hmm.
But also, if she's receiving SSI, what is the max that she's allowed to? I don't know how spousal support works on that, but that has to
Yeah.
be claimed also.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
she.
Yeah, she gets like 900 in SSI. That's what
Hmm.
he, claimed.
Right.
Sorry, I'm getting back to this so I can put my admin in. So if my secret account wants to come on, you can help me out with all this. Sorry, you guys, I'm a bit of a lag on here. I'm getting a new we're switching internet service providers because this is a mess.
Hi,
So
Jay, Greg.
yeah,
We don't either. It's Friday night, and
well yeah, but I mean, come on, this is like, I mean, she keeps coming to people with this sob story, and it doesn't reflect the truth, and I think that that's important.
you know what? I wouldn't care either if she was getting a divorce, but coming into the community, taking money from people when it's not necessary, people buying
Hmm.
things from her and never having them shipped out, lying about tracking orders, or tracking numbers, that's bullshit. That's, I think, when it starts to,
Hey,
one, we get a little nosy, and secondly, it's bullshit that she's conning a bunch of people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it does affect us because it's affecting people, and it really shouldn't be. Like,
No.
she really should not be begging people for this money when she's already getting it. Like, she's already getting it funded through Larry.
Well, the first thing too was, oh, I don't have any money. Nothing's coming in. And she's getting
Hey,
$900
Stellar,
a month.
did that
And
work?
hi, Stellar.
Did that
900
work?
a month in Social Security benefits.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the first lie. Why deny it when it was, in black and white on the court documents? And don't tell, they're not going to be a lie, because I'm sure he had, if he was at home, obviously he's at home, he has all the documents, he has the proof that she's receiving it.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah.
And it's as simple as logging into a Social Security website. You log in, and I know this from personal experience. You log into the Social Security website, and it tells you exactly, and you print up a statement right then and there of how much you make every year.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Totally. Do we know how much
I
cash she's received? I have no idea.
I think from what I heard, it was like $63,000 from what I heard from
Oh my God.
Lindy this morning.
60. Wow. Whoa. 60.
Either 53 or 63.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it shows that you're on here. So I'm confused.
Is he in the green? He's in the green room, right?
Yeah, it shows him on panel.
Yeah, you're on panel. You're on mute.
Maybe try unmuting yourself. I don't know.
Can you unmute him?
Mhm. I don't think I can unmute other people. Unless you know, like that troll way to do it, but I don't really know what that
Mm-mm.
troll way to do it.
No.
Yeah, she wants money, what else is new? New strangers. Yeah, well said, zombie. Hmm. Okay. Well, okay, let me try this.
I learned the hard way not to give money to people that I've met online. I did that already, and you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
it it wasn't in that amount. It wasn't even close to that type of money. But
Yeah.
it comes back, and they become ungrateful, and look at what they do. They turn around. Obviously, now she's not going to pay anybody back with what?
Yeah. I mean,
Old
that's the
makeup
thing.
and purses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timed out in the green room. It
I'm
says
sure Stellar's not going to want a $1,000 Chanel handbag.
on.
That's
Yeah.
not, that wasn't the agreement. Whether, if he said, okay, yeah, or anybody, it's like, that's not the agreement. The agreement was to pay back.
Mm-hmm. Everyone. And
Hmm.
and the thing is, like, one of the things that I kept trying to like point out to people is that, like, you know, by doing this whole thing is that, like, her own husband is saying that a court order against her would be meaningless. I hope that bad language. Yeah.
Was I,
Okay, let me
wait,
see
wait,
if I
wait, was
can.
I cussing?
No,
Oh,
no, no. We're talking about.
oh,
I believe we're talking about Stellar,
oh,
because he says he keeps getting timed out in the green room. Okay, let me see if I can do
oh,
this.
gotcha.
It's so weird. All right.
Well, Punk, I will admit, I've got a couple of handbags that have cost me close to $1,500 each. I have a
Mm,
couple of handbags that cost me 300, 400, anywhere from $5 to 15, $1,600 because I could afford it, and it's a nice gift to oneself, But a lot of times, some bags do increase in value,
mm-hmm.
but they have to be in perfect condition, and they have to be collector's item type, like what is it, the Birkin by Hermes, those
Yeah.
things. But they're $25,000 handbags. But I
Yeah.
admit, I myself, I mean, shit. When I was 10 years old, my mom bought me my first Gucci handbag, and I was 10. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that you do. It's kind of like buying a pair of tennis shoes and a pair of Air Jordans for what do they go for, 250? It's just
Yeah.
something that you just buy yourself. And if you have the money, but you're not taking it away from anybody. She got them under, you know,
Okay, I think I just added myself twice on this, trying to figure out what like the deal is with Stellar. So, okay, I'm gonna try sending this link again, which is what I pulled off of when I you know, what I just said, which is what I pulled off from accidentally adding myself a second time. So sorry, go on. I
so,
didn't mean to interrupt you.
yeah.
Go
Oh,
on.
no, don't worry. I know you're trying to take care of things, but it's also a status symbol, you know,
Thank you.
$2,000
Okay.
Chanel handbag or the LV or the Christian Louboutin red bottoms. It's all a status symbol. That's all it is. It's like, if you, for myself, I was working, I had a good job, and having that status symbol just sitting there, it makes you
Yeah.
feel good. It's an accomplishment, but I didn't have responsibilities when I did it. And if I get to the point where I have to
Yeah.
sell them, I'll sell them, but I will mail them out too. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Not just like pretend to, right?
Mhm. Exactly. So I can see that, but if
Okay.
she was buying them without her husband knowing, my thing is though, um, but how did the husband not know that she was spending so much money? You know what I mean? He had to have known. Okay. I'm not, there's always, there's three sides to the story: his side, her side, and the truth. If she spent thousands of dollars on this handbag, didn't he notice?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he spent uh, I mean, he did everything he could to keep her from accessing his accounts.
Right. But before that, when she bought everything, he was okay with it because he had to have seen it in the checking account. He's running his own business. The accountant, I know when my parents had businesses, everything had to be accounted for, especially thousands of dollars, unless, he was writing her off as an employee. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
there's something, I
Hmm.
don't know, you know, it's
Yeah, but
something.
well, I think that's kind of his whole point. Like, I don't know if you like saw us going through like the earlier the 200 page court filing.
No,
Um,
I've read the whole documents too.
oh yeah,
So, yeah.
okay, yeah. So yeah, so I get what you're saying in that case. Yeah, considering that you yeah, have that context to consider. Oh, by the way, Stellar, I added you by email, so maybe that will be easier. Let's hope. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah. Sorry, I'm also trying to get to the document that my secret account sent me on or via Twitter. I don't know why I bounced back. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm getting there. Sorry
So
about that.
I don't know. There has to be, you know, also, I don't know if he has that. Who knows if he even has that money? They're driving a 2012 Cadillac, you
Oh,
know?
Rory.
No, him.
Or,
In the documents, the vehicle that they have is a 2012 Cadillac.
hmm. Yeah, right. I didn't even pick up on that, but that's a good point too.
You know what I mean? They don't
Hmm.
have, they have a modest house. I'm not defending Cat in the least, trust me. I'm just trying to look at both sides of the picture here that
Yeah.
he's not innocent of things either. Or he just turned a blind eye to keep her shut, just to shut her up so that he can do
Mm.
his thing and she could do her thing and just, leave me the fuck alone. Because obviously, if he filed for divorce a year prior, he was already considering it.
Yeah.
So this is a, 3, 4, maybe, yeah, 4 year. process? Because we're already, what, a 1 year, 2 year, 3.5 year process.
Yeah, exactly. Does it get it right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Claim. Thank you, by the way. Claim of lien. Notice is hereby given that the Southwind Owners Association, Inc., whose mailing address is 315 North Highway 79, Panama City Beach, Florida 32413, claims a lien on the following property: Condominium A7 of Southwind 2, a condominium as set forth in the Declaration of Condominium, and the exhibits annexed thereto and forming a part thereof, recorded in Official Records Book 1000, or I guess 1036, page 546 of the Public Records of Bay County, Florida. The above description includes, but not limited to, all appurtenances of the condominium unit above described, including the undivided interest in the common elements of said condominium, which property is owned by Larry and Kathleen Klein, whose mailing address is 4809 East Monte Cristo, Scottsdale, Arizona 85254, and whose property address is 17670 Front Beach Road, A-7, Panama City Beach, Florida 32413, and which represents lien for unpaid association assessments and related charges due for the following periods: assessments, late fees, and interest due through April 1st, 2019. So this year. Or to the tune of $6,752.88. B. Special assessments, late fees, and interest due through April 1st, 2019. $36,226.69. C. Current attorney's fees, which is $800. D. Recording costs, claim of lien, $18.50. Total balance due, $43,797.99.
And that's just an association fees?
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I just read that. This lien also secures additional amounts as they come due, including future assessments, interests, collection costs, and attorney fees, which are due and which may accrue subsequent to the date of this lien and prior to entry of final judgment of foreclosure. All unpaid amounts shall bear interest at 18% per annum as provided in the association's governing documents. Holy shit. 18%. New roof, new parking lot service. Yeah, wow. A little bit, Stellar. Just a little bit of financial irresponsibility.
Also, the fact that he owes, that's another thing. He
Wow.
owes 200 and some odd $1,000 in taxes from
Mm-hmm.
2008. So there
Yeah.
is a lot of financial irresponsibility.
I mean, it
That's
makes
why I'm
sense if
saying
it.
it's. That's
Yeah,
why
I
I'm
mean,
saying
like,
there's two sides to this.
well, yeah. But I mean, that doesn't necessarily put Cat in the right, you know? Like,
No,
I mean,
but he did. What were the years again?
that was for 2019.
Okay, and you got to remember though. Okay, she claims that the condo is hers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's in his name, the condo, no, the condo's, yeah, the condo is hers. So he probably paid up and up until the divorce was filed. And then from that point on, he gave her the condo, right? He cleaned it, he set up the electricity, all the utilities, and gave it to her with probably the thought of, okay, it's yours now, you're living there, it's your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because she did have $900 a month in disability, and she was going to sell her merchandise, so that would have paid part of the fees.
Yeah.
Okay, the divorce has been so, okay, 43,000. Well, I don't, yeah, that would make it, what, $3,500 a month. I don't think the association fees would be $3,500
Right.
a
Yeah,
month.
so it has to be on the deed. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or she never told them that there were, fees on the, maybe that was her responsibility and she was supposed to take care of it.
I mean, I
You
thought
know,
she said that they owned it outright, right?
exactly. So if he hands over the lien, the property to her, saying, okay, this is yours, everything from the date of filing from that divorce would make the association fees her responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
not to the tune of
Oh.
$43,000, I don't think, but
Say if they live in a community property state or not, that would make a huge difference. I believe it is.
it is.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, so it is.
I don't understand what WRN's talking about, but okay.
I don't know, maybe that's some renovations that the
Oh, that the condo had?
yeah,
Oh, to pay, yeah, okay.
ownership would take precedence and also
Sorry, Deb, I'm just a little lost on that one.
Good point. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Stellar.
Interesting.
But again, I don't know, being that it's a beachfront property in Florida, it could be, I mean, here in Huntington Beach, Huntington Harbor, I'm sure that if they have association fees, these are $1 million houses. It's possible that the association fee would be that much. But
Yeah,
again,
but a condo in like, I mean, we're not talking about like South Beach, right? We're not talking about like somewhere
no, it's in
super.
Panama City.
Mm.
Does it say what the name of the community is?
I think it's at like Southwind too.
Okay.
Um, Southwind Owners Association. Yeah, notice is hereby given by the Southwind Owners Association. So I assume Southwind, but you
Okay.
should be able to find it. Like,
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
doing to see what there it is, HOA.
mm-hmm.
Florida.
And it's a retiree community. Okay. So she would have to. Oh, so she can't sell it to anyone. Interesting. Yeah, this was. I went back to her last.
Now, one thing I don't know, I think, yeah, let's see. Okay, Southwind
Wait.
Panama Beach. Okay, in 2015, the HOAs are 627 per quarter and cover. My screen just changed. Covered water, utilities. Come on, phone.
Oh shit! But here's the other thing. Like, Kat just turned 51. A retiree community is 55 and over. Larry is over 55, not Kat.
So she can't live there.
So, yeah, his name would have to be on it.
Yeah. But she wouldn't be able to live there by herself.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
least, I know, like here in California, you can't.
yeah. No, it's the same. Like, I think it's the same everywhere. Or I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's a state thing or a federal, but like, yeah. So she can't live there without him,
Right.
and she can't really own it without him, and she can't really sell it to anyone who's under 55.
Yeah, and okay, in 2015, the HOAs were 627 per quarter, covered the water, sewer, cable, trash, pest control, internet, Wi-Fi, common element reserves, maintenance, and insurance. And this is by the property connection, I guess the property broker for the HOA. And this was in 2015. So they never paid the fees then. If it's $63,000 or 43, the whole time they owned it. Or I take that back. Okay, the $43,000 would include court costs, interest, right? You said?
Yeah.
That would make sense then. So if he paid it outright,
Yeah, so he
gave it
gave
to her,
her a property she can't live in and can't really do anything with.
but she wanted it though, because it's
In
hers.
Right, okay. So you got to sell her in J. Greg. Yeah. But like on the D or like on the like yeah,
True
it can
sell
say
it.
no freedom
Here you can live if you're like
in the
taking
bloody
care of
panhandle.
somebody. And this
Yeah,
is
I know, right?
mainly in the motorhome community, like mobile home communities, because
Uh-huh.
I've dealt with a couple of friends that were in that case. She was 55 and under. She was, but she was taking care of her mom. So they were, they make, uh, um, they give her, oh, I can't even think of the word. They allow her to live there because she's taking care of somebody.
They're not full. Yeah, but like as it's to own the place or like to live there.
Live
Stellar.
and own. Yeah. It
Yeah.
depends, I guess, on the community. Let's see
Yeah.
what I can find.
Sweet. Yeah, I don't know how it works in this particular community, but But yeah, it's in the panhandle. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we're not talking about like Miami. We're not talking, because I know that it's like crazy expensive in Miami, but she can own and rent it out until she turns black property taxes. Let me find
One that sold
it.
in the
Okay.
last. Okay,
Awesome.
one.
Thank you.
The address was Front Beach Road, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me pull this up again. Make sure I have this right.
Residential.
Yeah, Front
zoning.
Beach Road. Yeah.
Okay, so I just found one that sold May 17th of 2019 for 195,000, and when it says zoning is residential multifamily. So it's not 55 and over.
Okay. All right. Of course, punk. Oops. Yeah, sorry, I gotta turn that off, but thank you.
And this is on Front Beach Road, so it's nearby hers. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, 952 square feet. So
Yeah.
it's not a 55 and over. So when he handed it over, he had to have handed it over to her free and clear. And it comes with a refrigerator, and it comes with dishwasher, disposal, microwave, range, refrigerator.
Yeah, that's an idea. Fine. Yeah, wow, this is, yeah. Sorry, you guys, this is like a lot to process.
And this one's 195, and it's a half a mile to the water. But it's the same subdivision, the Southwind 2 subdivision.
But yeah, Southwind too. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a 55 and over.
It's not.
That's what it's saying here. It's saying residential multifamily. Otherwise, it would say 55 and over, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's weird. Huh.
Who said it was 55 and over?
I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, I thought that's what. I mean, it's a retirement community, right? have a new one. Yeah, she would need help. Yeah. This is like,
She could have rented it out for $120 a night on that Verbo.
yeah.
It doesn't say anything about it being 55 and over.
No?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. See, I wish David Guns would come on here because he is like the inside track of like her emailing people, asking for this information, and like, okay, so I want to see if this 55 and over thing, if that was a lie that she told people, or if that's true. Like, oh, I can't, I can't be in this place because it's 55 and over or something, or if it's another like sad story, like, that might affect this point. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Airbnb, yeah. 129. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, how much did she blow? What was it, $50,000 or something, like $50,000 on Airbnb in 1 month or something, or like I guess 3 months. I don't know. By the way, thank you, Punk. That's sweet of you. Hollywood, that's incoming. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Like.
Some more information. Hold on, sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay, this
Thank you.
is for the Southwind Community Condominiums.
Mm-hmm.
And it's saying here, perfect location, just big enough for our 6-person family. We stay 4 beds for a week. People rent them out.
Oh, so they do rent them out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so is the 55 and over thing bullshit? It sounds like it. Like, is that another sob story? I don't know.
One more thing, just to clarify. Check one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're all.
Sorry, this is happening in real time, everyone.
Front Beach Road. They're all on Booking. They're on Verbo. They're on.
Oh, good point, Stella.
So they're everywhere, and it's not saying anything about it being 55 and over.
Yeah, I agree. I would also think the bond income would likely be income as well. Yeah, for real. That's why she had it all put into Larry's name, and that's why she was hoping against hope that he would call off the divorce. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Cooper. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hey,
Good to see you.
Cooper.
Yep, like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate it.
Yep, these are the same ones. Okay. Because I wanted to verify like the pictures and stuff like that of the condos that they're showing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's the same condominium yeah. So no, it's not 55 and over. Sorry.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And I would put my hands in fire for that one.
Wow. Okay, so that's another lie.
There you go.
Mess. Yeah.
So there was no reason for her to go live there. I mean.
Yeah, no reason for her not to.
Every vacation rental company has one of those up for rent.
Wow. Stellar still's not bought me anything expensive. Yeah, me neither, Cooper. Damn it. You have to treat all the hangout hosts equally, don't you know, Stellar? Yeah, wow. Okay. So I'm thinking she probably said that as an excuse they're like as to why she can't like rent it out or whatever. Like it's 55 and over when it's not.
Exactly.
This is bullshit, man.
You know, in all the reviews, we stayed here with 4 other families, and all our condos were well kept. I ended up sleeping in one of the kids' bunks. Friends and family have stayed here for many years. You know, so all the reviews are the same thing.
Yeah. Sorry, this is funny. Stellar says, Cooper, I'm looking into Gucci from a fellow YouTuber who has them for sale. He's always trying to get hurt this life. I know, right? Mine too. I'm waiting for the Funko Pops to go and say, oh yeah, that Prince Funko Pop. Never. Perhaps some MREs.
Hey, Cooper, I got a few Coach bags I'm willing to sell.
An option.
I think I've got about 15 of them. Don't ask why.
4,000 calories in those MREs. Oh my god. Mess. It's all a mess.
Hi, baby.
Oh, you. Okay, now I'm getting the tax information. The back taxes on this. Let's see.
I'm going to take you guys with me somewhere, like I always do.
Cool. Yeah, but I don't need this shit. Right. Rosie was trolled by a fundy? A fundy?
I'm going to mute real quick.
Okay. Well, thanks for dropping in, Cooper. Yeah, geez. Guess you better motor, huh? So exciting. Anyway, good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well. Send me Emily's coffee too. Oh my god. Mess. Bon voyage, Cooper. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I'm just save these. Do this. Interesting. So they bought it in 2015 for cash. How much was that? Sorry, it was for $165,000. I see.
It's my traffic. I think it's noisy. So basically, her lie has been everything that she has said out of her mouth has come out as a lie. Building's not 55 and over. You know, there's no reason why she couldn't live there. I mean, granted, if she has, mobility problems, I'm sorry about that, but there's always a way of getting.
It hasn't impeded anything that she's wanted to do, though. Like, I mean, she can live on what, the second or third story of a condo.
It's a 2-story. You could always put get a sofa bed and put it downstairs. You know what I mean? So there, or a recliner, something. So there's no excuse for that. The thing is, she just didn't want to be there. Maybe she was. I'm not. I'm like playing devil's advocate here. I'm playing on both sides.
Yeah.
She didn't want to be there alone. I can understand a divorce. They always say a divorce is like almost like a death. After so many years together, she was solely dependent on him. But it still doesn't give a reason for her to lie.
Yeah.
I think if she would have been straight up and honest from the jump and said, look, yes, I have a condo. I'm scared. I don't want to be there. I've never been alone. I bet you more people would have come up and stood up and said, okay, look, there's people in Florida. We can help you out. Instead of alienating half the community.
Yeah. She spent a night at the Stratosphere, tallest building in Vegas. I wish I could get you on panel, Stella. How did you?
Did she finally end up spending the night? Because again, devil's advocate here. I heard her say
I know.
that she did um, reserve like 3 nights at the Stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
She canceled it, had to pay for one night, but she didn't spend the night. But I don't know if she ended up going.
Yeah.
I have a lot of time to listen while I do.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. I know how it is. Yeah. No. Like I mean, at this point, for me, it's almost like a treasure hunt. It's like, okay, what part of these don't add up with what she said before, or like what we've come to believe, or like
Right.
I'm listening. It's like active listening. I'm
Right.
waiting for it because I know there's gonna be
But
bullshit. Yeah.
but why? But then again, why go? If you don't have money, go reserve a flippin'. I don't have money to go, extra
Yeah.
money to go reserve 3 nights. I had a friend stay in Vegas this week and I was going to drive up. I don't have the extra money to go spend 3 days over there because
Mhm.
it's not just the room. The rooms are, you rent the room, but then you have to pay the resort fee.
Right.
So if you're taking money from people, why go basically blow it? And then
Yeah.
obviously she's going to order room service.
Yeah.
I know I would.
Or oh, she had vouchers, right? I think that's
Yeah.
what she was saying at that point. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be noisy. I have to go into 7-Eleven. I'll be right back.
Okay. It's okay. I'm gonna have to take a little break for 1 second. Yeah. I don't know why I can't get stone on here.
I don't smoke weed, but I got the munchies.
That's cool.
Doing
It's universal, right?
treasure hunts like this. Oh shit, the music. Hold on.
Library curtains. Oh god. Yeah, last place I was at. I've never been there, but yeah. Gross, huh? Mm. Take your word for it. I believe it. Second. Mm. I don't know. Like I don't know. Did you try like refreshing or rebooting or whatever it is? I don't know. On your phone or your computer or I don't know. Very bad optics. Damn. Is it that bad? Library curtains. Oh my god. That's true. Oh my god, hey Sidejets, thank you. And yeah, oh by the way, I appreciate what you said on Twitter. I'm trying to not respond to the whole all that stuff because I don't know, I'm trying to listen to it so she understands. Okay. Okay. It's making a road trip now, which is weird. Oh really? Is it? But thank you so much, Sidejets. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Always. Okay, wait, did this actually oh my goodness. Now it's not doing that. Sorry. Okay, let's try this. Okay, now it's working. All right. This YouTube real estate video started kind of 2015. It's test outcomes ASIN. Wow. Okay, nice, Dylan. Welcome. My backside is the best. Okay. There you go. That's a way of looking at it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay. Okay. Southlands. Thank you so much, by the way. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there it is.
picture view from the front
Okay, I'm
door
back.
of Southwind.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that is. Let me pull this up on here so I can direct you guys to it.
What are we listening to?
Oh, I'm just going to. It's the real estate video for this actual unit.
Ooh.
As Dylan pointed out. Thank you, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, I'm
Wait.
gonna. It's a
On
YouTube
here. Okay.
thing. Okay. So I'll pull it up on here, and then hopefully this will work in a way that makes sense. Fingers crossed on that one. Oh, that's a great thumbnail. Thanks, YouTube. Me making a weird face, as usual. Take your time. Okay. So this is the real estate video of it.
What's up with Johnny P?
I don't know. Or is that what someone's saying somewhere? That's usually what happens.
Hi, Side Chat Slut.
Oh, yeah, thank you for being here, Side Chat. It's good to see you. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah. Okay, let me get back to. I'm sorry. This is all happening like in real time, you guys. So sorry if it's taking me a minute to tie this all together. But speaking of back taxes.
Hey, how you doing? Doing good, thanks. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. Let's see.
Oh, you have a good one.
So your mom,
It's,
she ever has like trash in her in the.
Hey, Stellar. Can you talk yet? It's this Revlon Kiss, which is in shade or I don't know if it's 030. I know it was in the 2 for 1 package of like this and the exfoliator. I don't know. But thank you. So sweet.
Stellar's back.
Let's hope.
You think if I drop out, he might be able to stay in?
I have no idea. We can try it.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'll see.
Always like I could never. I was blessed with like eyebrows that are my superpower. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know if that's like the lighting or what, but or I don't know if it's just a good shade. It's a really like subtle kind of tint, so yeah. But yeah, it just it came with the scrub exfoliator, whatever it's called. So I don't know. Oh, she's always getting her flirt on. Damn it, we're so close to like actually hearing Stella and what he has to say. Come on. How is it not working? I don't understand. Okay, so, well, I guess, oh, gee, I don't know what to do. I don't know why he keeps doing that. Jeez. Okay, well, hmm. Like, I wish it was, like, I don't know, like, I don't understand it's not even working. So you fancy. Yeah, this is driving me crazy, though. Like, oh, well, thank you. But your old star must be super fly. Oh, cookies. There you go. That could do it. That's an idea. I should probably clear mine as well. But no, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be back. I'm putting this off because I'm trying to keep up with all you guys and all the stuff that's happening right now for breaking news. I agree, Blake. Good point. Okay, I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm out of beer. I'm so pissed about it too. Yeah. Have to stay hydrated, really. I feel like that's key. Nice. Yeah, for real. Oh yeah, what was I just gonna read out to you guys? Oh right, okay. The info on this. All right. Yeah. This is yeah, back taxes for the real estate at 17670 Front Beach Road. Um yeah, 17 or A7.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hey,
Hey, you can hear me?
yeah.
Okay. I had to change my the headphones.
Thank you. All right, so yeah, so based on this, owner address Larry Klein. This only Larry Klein and gives his address. Um, and again, it's for the Palm Beach Road at Panama City Beach. Prior year's taxes due. Payment for delinquent real estate taxes must be made by cash, cashier, order, credit, or debit card. Tax deed payments cannot be made online or with a credit card. Interesting. Okay, so yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if this Larry has been responsible for it, which is strange. Okay,
Hey, am
yeah.
I on here?
Yes! Oh my god! Yes! It even had the little pop up.
Wait a minute.
I can hear you.
Can you guys, am I on here?
Yeah. You guys
I
can
am?
hear me, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
I can just barely hear you. One sec. Oh my God.
I can hear you, Joe. Star, I can hear you. But I
Alright.
can't hear feet. It's low.
Oh. That okay, let me oh, fuck that one. One sec.
I'm gonna mute because I don't think you want ASMR.
Okay. I can't hear you guys at all.
Sorry, 1 second.
Can you hear me, Stellar?
Yeah, now I can hear you a little bit better.
Is
Okay.
this any better?
Yeah, it's just that Felicia's kind of low on my end, too.
Let me pop in some headphones on here. One sec.
Yeah, let me get back to the control center on this. I don't know why it's doing that, but yeah, sorry. Let me I don't know what it's doing. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I don't know why it's so low. Let me see if I can get this straightened out. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I've got you turned up all the way.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. Good to know.
Anyway, sorry about that. I don't know. It has to be on my end, Faye, because I'm on now, but I couldn't get on with my computer. So my apologies. I don't know what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. The control room link isn't showing up for some reason. I don't know if they like changed something or what they did now, but oh my god. Sorry guys. Let's see what I can do here. Jesus.
I can hear you a little bit better, but Stellar's a lot louder.
Diane, I hear you real well. Yeah, Faye's a little bit light.
Sorry, one sec.
Is your microphone in your headset, Faye?
No, it's set up. It's set up through this. I don't know why it's.
Better.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this, but
When you
yeah.
moved, it was a little louder. Like right there, it's louder.
Well, does that help, Ben? Does this help at all?
Yeah, I can hear you okay now.
Yeah, I don't know why
Not
it's
as
doing
loud
that.
as Diane, but
Yeah, I mean, it's not letting me control the volume or anything, so I'm gonna, I don't know, I'll try to do something. It's crazy, but yeah. They're always changing things around. Sorry about that. Probably. Okay, all right. But yeah, at least we got you on here, right?
yeah, I
You can
have
hear
to
me.
figure out what went wrong. I'm here. Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't know
It's
what
probably
to add to it. Go ahead. Sorry, Faye.
Oh no, I mean like it's probably just YouTube or something. But yeah, no, I mean okay, so I mean you know that she's been emailing people, and as you were told that she was like having to pay her lawyer monthly, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and so apparently she's like still, asking people to pay for her lawyer, even though she's not even going to need a lawyer after or after July 1st, right? So I don't know. I mean, what's your take on all this?
Yeah, it confusing from the very beginning. Um, the cost of the lawyer per month was to me exorbitant. I didn't understand why it was so expensive.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, it's very confusing. And I think it's a tangled web of misinformation. And I honestly don't know what to believe. I'm afraid to stand on anything I've heard other than maybe from Larry's side. I just, it just, there's so many discrepancies, so many um, things that turn out not to be accurate or completely false. And I just don't know what to do with that. So, when it's that bad, I guess you just kind of have to sit back and grab your popcorn and wait and see how it all turns out. And then we find out who was being genuine, who wasn't.
Yeah.
But the lawyer fees were very, very expensive. I don't remember exactly what I recall the numbers that she mentioned, but they were really high. I'd sit down to hear that. And then I thought, well, how are you going to do that every month? If you're struggling for the rent one month, then you got to add on to that, what, 4 or 5,000 per month for attorney fees, and you're not working. Where's that money going to come from? So none of it added up to me. Even if you could scratch together enough for one month, what are you going to do in the next month? I mean, eventually the well runs dry. None of it really, I couldn't see how this was all going to make any sense. But I do think there seemed to be an intention to stall or drag things out. And there's some good reason why that might have been the plan, that would be purposeful and work out in the long run better for her if it
Yeah.
does have something to do. Yeah, that a marriage that lasts 10 years plus 1 day is then the parties are eligible for Social Security on either side.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of strategy going on. But yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like this whole thing tonight is like, this is very important because it's like, okay, maybe there is no need for an attorney whatsoever. It's like a done deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know. To me, the thing that like really pisses me off because I'm not someone who Kat's tried to get money from because she knows better. Yes, I would
Yeah,
never be, sympathetic to that. But like, it really bothers me that she keeps coming to this community and coming to this group, like a small group of people who she turns to almost in confidence and says like, "Oh, I can't because I can't do this because of that. I can't do, X because of Y. I can't do, Z because of A." And it's bullshit. It turns out to be bullshit. Like the 55 and over thing. Like
right.
that turns out to be bullshit. That would have been a way that Larry, I mean, if that were true, it would have been a way that Larry would have actually screwed her over. Like that would have been a way that Larry's lawyer would have really fucked her. But it's not true.
Right. And right. And Faye, the whole disability thing, my understanding, I might be wrong, correct me if I am, was the line was that they were not on any disability, but in fact, we find out that they are, that there is actual disability income.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and this is something else I heard, hopefully I heard it correctly. When the original not a GoFundMe, when the original fundraising was taking place, and I think one of the people, don't remember the name of who it was, but one of the people, I believe in the drama community, took that on, and somebody reminded that person, hey, wait a minute, don't we usually require paperwork? Where is the paperwork? If we're going to try to raise some funds for anybody, we've learned the hard way in the past. So where's the paperwork? We should be provided that. And I'm just thinking that that never happened.
Yeah.
And hence people were getting hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Blake, good point. I saw Glam went off on Rosie because she had Lindy on for a few minutes. Cat is unstable. Yeah, that was
Oh, wow.
insane. That was from last year. Yeah, BNN2 uh posted that. That was from last year though. Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Like she pretty much demanded that Rosie never have Lindy on again.
Oh, really?
Mm, yeah, because she was calling like Lindy a what was it, a rapist, even an emotional
Oh, gee.
rapist. Ridiculous. And
Yeah.
ignorant, like just oh my god, it was fucking crazy. So yeah, unstable. It definitely seemed unstable. So I would concur with Blake on this.
Yeah. So that just happened tonight, this
Uh,
whole,
no, that was last year. And it was uploaded,
oh,
re-uploaded by BNN to
oh, gotcha. Okay.
Point News Network to
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I think, something like that. She's a creep stating how. What? Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm just trying to follow the side chat there.
Yeah, me too. Always. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, when she learned how to say, "I hope you're raped a thousand," or like, yeah, 1,000 times or something, in like I think Farsi. I could be wrong on that, but essentially just so she could more succinctly harass Muslim women on social media. Yeah, pretty fucked up. Yeah, and that is creepy. Good point. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
god,
wasn't aware of that
awful.
either.
Yeah,
That is creepy.
yeah. She, I mean, she said some really hateful
I,
things about Muslim people. It's
Yeah, I was always bothered by why the necessity to put your religion out there. I mean, I'm a retired minister. I never did that. I think I was asked one time, but I never talk about it unless someone brings it up. But to always emphasize what your faith position is, and even your political position, the whole Republican thing. It's like, why do that? Why put a wall up when you should be building a bridge? You know, so as soon as you slap labels on people and circumstances, that's usually what you get. It's no way to begin, yeah, a dialogue. Just pretty much that's where that falls apart. But
yeah, it's like I don't know. I see this over and over with Kat. It's like she can't just start like she can't just reach out to someone and be cool about it or something if that makes sense. Like it's always like, oh,
mhm.
she wants to reach out to Trisha Paytas, so she leaves a comment saying that she looks like she has Down syndrome or something. Like it's
Yeah,
some like weird, bizarre, like self-defeating thing that she does. Like she can't just be like open and honest, you know?
yeah. Well, and these people on YouTube, some of them have really learned that it's all about exciting the masses who are watching the drama, and just it doesn't matter, just be controversial, say something, anything that will make people sit up and take notice, and they're not concerned about the morality of it or the implications or the fallout or anything, the bad stuff that can happen. They do it, I suppose, just to generate attention, and
Well,
that's what they do.
that makes sense as to why she gave money to Nina Unrated. She knew
Hmm.
this person was known to be like, a scammer, and she gave money to her, and she gave money to her friend, that was supposed to be for her. So, like, essentially to her in a way that it could never be traced to her. And I mean, like, I don't know. Again, like, how could you be that dumb to do something like that? Like, I mean, I don't, I just feel like, she talks, the way she's talked about money in the past just tells me that she's very naive about it and that she doesn't really know how to manage it and how, like,
Right.
she doesn't talk like people who have money usually talk about money, you know? Does that make
Yeah. I think some people have gambling addiction, and
sense?
some people, there's all kinds of addiction and compulsivity you can think of, but some people just can't handle money well. I I don't think there's necessarily, I mean, I don't know this, but I'm just going to guess,
Mm-hmm.
a problem with understanding the whole mathematics of spending and income. But it's like, some people can't stop spending. Some people are really drawn, or they will steal from Safeway, or I mean, they just can't not purchase something. Their life is about materialism, and money is the means to it. And it is real compulsivity or addiction for a lot of people. And, you know, I think that has to be treated as a real problem, if that's what it is, with some people. I don't know in this case, but
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the sense that I get. Like, she's
Will
all
she
about
stop
what?
doing that thing addiction only because I know. Shoot, I have a call. Hold on.
Okay. Um,
Oh, she left.
yeah, she said she had a call, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't know. I made that out.
A little bit of feedback on her end. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she said her like headphones broke or something. Or also,
Oh,
yes, well, like also she's actually sitting outside and there are a bunch of like crickets. So
oh, okay.
these are
That would
actual
do it.
crickets. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, but like, yeah, I don't know. I just get this sense with Kat that it's about greed for her. Like, like not necessarily even just like indulgence, but like I don't know. I guess like I'm thinking of the word avarice or avarice. I don't know how to say it, but like
Yeah,
avarice.
avarice. Yeah.
Like she's greedy. you know, in that way that it's almost vicious. You know, I know that's what that word means to me, but it's just my
Yeah, well, a lot.
so.
Yeah, we have people in political office like that.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them.
Yep. Oh, we're gonna get into
Um,
that here for a while.
but
Right.
I was real quick. The shopping addiction, and I know this from personal experience, is that it's a rush. When you come home and you've got 5, 6, 7 boxes waiting for you, it's a rush. When you have a little extra cash and you go shopping, it's a rush. It's to fulfill also an emptiness that you have inside that you think that these items are going to fulfill, and it's a temporary, and I can see and understand, and you don't realize how much money goes out because you're just like, oh my God, I want this, I want that, I want. And with the ease of the internet and being able to just press a button for that instant gratification,
Yeah.
you can get yourself in the deepest financial hole and not even realize it. And I say this from personal experience because I can go through, you can go through cash. I've gone through cash like
Yep.
water.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
it's,
easy.
she might, you have to think too. And like I said, I'm trying to figure out both sides here. You have a husband who is dedicated to his work, constantly working, constantly doing what? um, I'll go inside. Um, are the crickets super loud?
A little bit, not bad.
Just a tad.
Okay. You know what it is? I got
Think
a
of
new,
them as family.
yeah. Let me take my stuff and go inside. Hold on.
Go downstairs. Ashley's not gonna lie.
If you could name them, I'd feel better about them.
Oh, there's too many. Okay. Way too many. Okay. That's better. Now I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, the husband. Okay. You got to think too. She's home alone. Okay. God knows whatever her mobility issues, her weight, whatever. She's
Mm-hmm.
sitting there. Her husband's a workaholic. She's home alone. Can't drive. Can't go anywhere without probably asking him. He's too busy. So then what does she do? She shops. You shop and eat.
Yeah.
So that could be her, one reason why she has so many items.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, I do too. That's a good
Yeah.
point, Diane.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a common one for an awful lot of people. They're filling the hole in their heart with something that won't ever really satisfy. And
Exactly.
so, yeah, and they just keep adding more and more, and then the debt goes up and up. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
And
an endless circle.
it's an
Yeah.
endless, yeah, it is, and but then again, like I said, how did he not see it? How did he not see the expenses? Or what, did he not care because it kept her quiet?
Yeah, and that's speculation. We may not be ever answer that, but I think that's also a good point. And
Yeah.
if he's a man of significant income, he was able to, his business generated good income. He
Mm-hmm.
probably, the amounts of money we're talking about might not have been quite as imposing as an ordinary person, but nonetheless, I think that from what I read in some of the papers, there was a couple of times when he was ready to, you know, change things up in a big hurry. And then
Yeah.
he went back and they reconciled. So I think this has been like ongoing, a huge problem for quite some time. So I would assume he recognized that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder. It kind of makes me wonder, like, how this. Or, I don't know why this didn't occur to me before, but like how this lines up as to like with and how it squares with when her dad like passed away, because that's when she got the big inheritance, right?
Right.
And I have to say something that Blake mentioned a little bit earlier about what she did to her brothers. I think something that people miss with that whole thing is that her brothers had kids. Kat does not. So when she denied her brothers of their rightful inheritance, she not only denied her brothers, but also her nieces and nephews.
Oh, the whole family.
That, yeah, because, yeah, I mean, they had people to leave money to as well. They had next to, like, they had kids. Kat doesn't. So when she refused to, like, probate the will, she essentially screwed her own nephews and nieces out of their inheritance. You know?
Right.
Well,
I don't know.
that, Faye, I think you're making a very strong point, a very good point, because we often don't follow the trail that far. And when you end up having um, someone's compulsivity or addiction, spending habits affecting, you see the money there and then it's gone. You wonder, well, what could it have done? What good could it have done? And even those on YouTube that donated, I think then you go, well, that donation went there, but not somewhere else where it could have made more of a difference. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there are several, whole numbers of people are in effect being affected by this in a very negative way.
Yeah, and that might just be my personal perspective talking because like okay, so like my grandmother died like when I don't know, maybe like oh gee. Uh somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago. I like it's been a while. But when I was in my early 20s. And she left a sizable inheritance for and left my dad as the executor of her will. um and the way that and it was like left to his like judgment to parcel it out, right? What he did is he like divided it evenly between all the grandchildren, her grandchildren. So like instead of it going to like him and his brothers, it went to me and all my cousins and my sister.
Right.
Yeah, in equal parts. So yeah, 1 million. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that was like, well, I mean, I'm not trying to put my family's business out there, but like that was somewhere around there was, my grandmother's. I don't know. She was wealthy, so so to me, hearing that Kat chose to keep all of the money when her brothers had their own kids, to me, it's like wow. So like if my dad were a piece of shit, he would have done that. You know, like that's what he would have done. But
Right.
he's not, so he didn't. Anyway, I don't know. So
Um,
to me, just from my perspective, that's just the way that I saw it. And I guess that's why it hits me like on that level. Like where it's like, oh wow, this is really fucked up because I don't know, I guess in a way I can sort of see it from a different perspective. Sorry if you like guys still can't hear me. I'm trying to figure this out still.
oh, hearing you good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Faye, just a quick piggyback on your comment. Entitlement is the word that comes to my mind, and there are many
Mm,
people who feel that way. And I think a lot of
yeah.
it has to do, you trace it back to someone's childhood, perhaps. Are you the fair-haired child in that family? And some people were actually given that designation
Yeah.
to the chagrin of probably the rest of the family. Why are
Yeah.
some children favored? And in fact, it doesn't strengthen them, it weakens them. And I think the proof is what we're dealing with now, that the
Yeah,
likelihood at
definitely.
least. So, that the long-term effect, I don't know if parents ever see it, but there's a whole long list of people. The numbers just begin to add up of people who are affected by the sad dysfunctional treatment of one individual child, going back
Definitely.
however far. Yeah,
Definitely.
where, wherever it started. And I
Mm-hmm.
just, who knows if that's correct or not, but I think it is in some cases. And if this is a case like that, this is a long-term fix for psychology, for psychologists or someone, you know,
Yeah,
who can really
definitely.
deal with it. Yeah. But as far as the rest of the family, they're shortchanged. This won't probably ever be corrected, this problem. And, it just, you hope that in the future, individuals who are struggling like this, I mean, people who have gambling addictions wipe out their entire family. They almost always end in divorce. The children hate their parent, whichever one has the addiction. Maybe they both did. But whatever the case, the long-term impact is just horrible. And it even, look how it stretched out into this little community. So, it's quite a tragedy.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Like, I mean, this has affected so many people that it just didn't need to.
Yeah, I just hope
Yeah.
that people like myself, uh, I I take responsibility for not doing due diligence. I didn't vet. I didn't take my time, and so that's on me. But I would hope that all of us learn something. That there's a takeaway from it, and we realize. And I thought the drama community, I thought that was pretty awesome. They're saying, hey, don't we have an agreement? We don't do this. We always ask for receipts. We ask for evidence. We want to know upfront before we start giving. I think that's smart.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And why would anyone get a pass on that? Anyone, myself, whoever is in need. I think there is an expectation that there be some sort of transparency. And when things get jumbled and confused like they have, particularly in this case, all the flags in the world should be going up.
Yeah, but the thing is, like that's the thing about con artists. Like, they bank on that. Like, I mean, how did Kat like come to this community? How did she play it? She was like, "Oh, it's all these horrible things," and she pulled on people's heartstrings by saying, "Oh, my husband is doing this horrible thing to me," which a lot of women could relate to, unfortunately. um it's a really sad situation that a lot of women feel like recognition towards because they've been in something similar, but it's just not the reality in this case. Like, that's the thing. Like, she does all this stuff specifically to make people stop thinking critically. So the fact that people weren't thinking critically, that's not necessarily their fault, I don't feel. Like, I mean, it's designed to have that effect. That's what the con is.
Right. And it works.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good thing that it does because it shows that people have like empathy. Like,
Right.
that doesn't
And
make
that's the
someone
thing.
weak, you know?
Exactly. My concern would be that people say, oh, you know what? Let's all get cold-hearted now. And anytime we hear the word fundraiser, we become suspicious, and compassion is no longer a part of our repertoire. And we just go on being cold-hearted orbs in the world. And you would hope that that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I know when I worked for the church, we knew 40% of people we helped were conning us. You knew that. But if you knew who they were, you wouldn't let that happen. But that's just it. They're really good and you don't know. And usually you find out later.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel like, I don't know, when people were like, I know when people say stuff about like, oh, social services should be scaled back because people like scam it. It's like I don't know. I would rather all the people who scam it, like, or who like play the system if it means that like someone who's actually hungry doesn't go without. Like, to me
Yeah.
that's worth it. Like, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
would.
I'm okay with being too good as a society.
I
Right. And
disagree with that, but I'll stay quiet.
What?
Diana?
What?
No, I said I disagree with that about the social services and people going and needing help and all that. I think there just needs to be um, more control from the social workers. More, then it gets in, well, that gets into another. That's why I said I'm not going to say much about that. But I've had some issues with it right now that angers me with the lacks of rules and laws with the social services and the assistance given to people.
Oh, okay. Are you
So,
like oversight? Is that one thing you're
I think there
No,
should be more,
mm,
like the
yeah,
social workers have more control over choosing or going out and verifying,
right.
you know,
Checks and
because there are,
balances, everything.
exactly, because like I said, I myself have been struggling with an issue right now with my medical. And I lost my medical insurance because I make $137 too much.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so, but if I quit my job, lived off the system, I could get money, I could get food stamps, I could get everything. But right now, I get a letter stating that not only do I make $137 too much, I have to pay to have government insurance. So it's like, where's that balance? So I wish that there were more control as to who gets assistance. You know what I mean? Maybe
Right.
my
Mm,
state has the biggest issue. I don't know other states how their social services is working, but and I speak, like I said, I can speak from personal experience that it is a very lax system that needs more control. But you also have the social workers that are burnt out because their files are
Yeah.
stacked on their desk and they can't control it. But anyways, going back to where.
Yeah, I mean, it's an overtaxed system.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, just, yeah, social workers, definitely. It's a good point. Like, there are no easy answers.
Yeah. Will you stop it? Sorry.
yeah, that's a good point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, there's always abuse of the system. I, I just learned of a priest. I knew this guy for over 30 years, and he spent about 4 months. It should have been more than that. It should have been years in prison for uh, misallocation of funds. Well, basically just putting it in his own pocket. You can find misappropriation or um, misuse, people
Oh my gosh.
putting their own situation falsely presenting who you are. And unless that's really verified closely, examined closely, then people are getting away with a lot. I mean, we've watched 60 Minutes, we watched all these shows that
Hmm.
we see the people that are taking advantage of the system. And it's,
Yeah.
it's a big problem.
Well, it is, and that goes back
That's
to
crazy.
what happened. Remember Felicia what was it, a couple of weeks ago? I had posted a receipt. I
Hmm.
was working at 7-Eleven. I posted a receipt, had nobody's name, nobody's information, and I just circled the amount of food stamps. And I think it was either 700 or $900 in food stamps.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody knows the person that was in front of me, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to get into detail as to the person that was in front of me, but you can tell that they did not need that amount of money. You know what I mean? I saw
Right.
the car that they drove into, the clothes, the handbag, and everything that they had. So it irritated me that, you know, at the time I was working two jobs, going in at 4:30 in the morning. My other job is taking care of my mom and dad, and I get paid for that. And that bothers me, because how is that fair? You know, here
Yeah.
I'm busting and I wouldn't say it was jealousy, but it was that moment of like, here I am busting my butt. I don't get a dime, but this woman is driving a flippin' Mercedes, carrying a handbag that I'm probably, you know what I mean? It's like,
Hmm.
huh, where is the fairness in that?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, the system's broken. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
There are some people, I hope there are some that at least are talking about it, that want to fix the system. I mean, we've got tremendous healthcare problems that don't exist in other countries, at least not to the
Hmm.
degree that they do here. And we really have to
Yeah.
ask ourselves why that is. And then we
Right.
can quickly conclude, I suppose, that, you know, if a big pharmaceutical is making money hand over fist. I hope there's nobody who actually that's way out of proportion to a healthy society. We have to ask those questions. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I have no friends that are millionaires, so I don't have a whole lot of compassion for people that are, you know, protecting their enormous interests to the detriment of society. And
Right.
Mhm.
just there's a huge problem with that.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely.
But I don't know, going back to this, I just hope that we can, it sounds like, Faye, that this is going to wind down fairly soon. We're in the month of
Yeah.
June, right?
Hmm. Yep.
So I think that we don't have a long
Yeah,
time
July
to
1st.
July 1st.
So yeah, so I guess July 1st people can start asking Kat to, sorry, I hope you guys can hear me now. July 1st, I hope, you guys can start asking Kat to get your money back.
Yeah, I
Good luck.
I'm not really thinking that'll ever happen. It's like you know, winning the Publishers Clearinghouse. I've entered it plenty of times, but foolishly thinking, well, maybe I'll be the one. It's not going to happen.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but you know, we just I think that we let's all learn from it. I'm more concerned by anybody who's really hurt by that. Those are the people that need to have some redress to remuneration for what they lost. And I think those are the people that I really feel bad for.
Well, hipster, you might be the only person who should actually be able to pay back or like be willing to pay back $5. But I'm sure she'll find some like, some condition where it's like, oh, if only she had asked me this way or hadn't done it that way or blah 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 blah. Yeah. I don't know.
I just
Yeah,
have one
well,
message to Kat. I only have one message to Kat. All the items that has been purchased by people, why don't, as a suggestion, call the United States Postal Service, order boxes, okay, flat rate boxes. They will ship them to wherever your location is. Buy a scale. You can purchase the stamps online. You can order a pickup from the USPS and they will come pick them up from your location. There is no
Wait,
excuse, no reason that the people that purchase your items do not receive them.
it's funny you're mentioning that, and I learned of. I mean, I
yeah.
won't be indiscreet and mention names, but that came as a surprise to me. I expected at least the basic follow through that if you make a purchase, you get your order, but I guess not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
right.
I was really
Um
surprised to hear that.
So there
yeah,
is no excuse for items not to be
not to be shipped.
sent out. Exactly.
Yeah,
That was just
Hipster
my,
said
my
Vegas Vixen said last night that Larry was trying to murder her.
What?
What?
oh
Oh, I
Lord.
see that. Yeah. Yeah. I think that might not be accurate.
Yeah, and Dylan said earlier, Dylan, I don't know who you are, but welcome. Said the bottom line is someone's paying Kat's bills and Vivi takes care of the rest. She's pretty much got it made for now. And she's double dipping on all this.
I will say one thing about Vegas Vixen though. She is a hustler. She takes care of her family. She's
She
able
works
to
hard, doesn't she?
support them, and she does work hard. And you know, I commend
I
any
think that's
hustle that you can do to take care of your family. I give you props for that, Vegas.
Yeah, I do too. Um, the
Mm.
only caveat I have on that, if I may say, um, and this has been something that's got me into trouble recently, but if you really, and I think Vegas Vixen's a wonderful friend. She'd be a wonderful friend to have. There's only one thing I don't see happening very often on Voight or YouTube in general, and that is that if you are a true friend to anybody, you name someone you like, and you want to be their friend, a genuine friend, Are you willing to challenge your friend when they fail the litmus test of being a decent human being? Can you say to them, hey, you're better than that? What are you doing? You know, think this through. Yes, it could be they'll get upset with you. They may even end your friendship. But I think it's, you know, integrity means something. So I've always been confused that when we claim friendship, we're not willing to take it the next step and say, I'm going to be such a good friend to you that I'm not going to turn a blind eye to when you screw up. The best friend I can be is someone who will challenge you to be a better human being. So if Vegas Vixen has an opportunity to challenge her friend, or Stellar has an opportunity to do the same, or any one of us, I think we ought to do it. We might pay a mighty price and we might lose a friend, but I think we don't want to lose our integrity. That's too high a price.
I agree with that. I agree with
Otherwise,
that.
we're just a fair weather friend. Well, I
Mhm.
can't say anything because I'll offend them, and then, oh my goodness, we don't want to have that happen.
Yeah.
I think too, what happens is that you wonder about their mental state. If I say this, because again, personal experience. If I
Good
say
point.
this, am I going to push them over the edge? Or they start crying, or they start, the poor pity me, and oh my God, and what am I going to do? I'm.
Yeah,
This
Hipster
is my
brought up.
situation.
Yeah, Hipster brought up something that didn't occur to me. She says they have a weird friendship. Kat's 17 years older than her. She's probably intimidated by her. I think
Um,
probably, and yeah, I think it is that she digs for free money. Funk, like, I think that. Well,
Sorry about that.
somebody woke up their puppy.
but like, yeah. So like, I think like it's definitely that, and I think it's kind of sad. Like, oh, the blood clot. Oh my god. I don't believe that either. That's the other thing. Like, okay, Rory comes up with this stuff about a blood clot condition, and then she says that drinking is somehow a substitution for medication. I mean, come on, that's bullshit. That's
Oh, to thin the
bullshit.
blood. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Which,
don't know.
if you
I
were on,
don't know anything about that.
if you were on a blood thinner, alcohol would be the last thing that a doctor would okay.
Oh yeah,
Like,
if you're on a blood thinner.
yeah, that
Absolutely.
would be the last thing, because that's what she's always said, that she had this blood clot, like, like condition, so she has to have a blood thinner, and as a substitute for meds, alcohol.
I don't know. I
Uh,
don't know anything
I
about
I
that.
don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, unless you're in like the 1860s or something. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go back to
I know
bloodletting
smoking
and
other.
leeches, and I think that's rolling the dice with your health.
Yeah, yeah, and smoking. Yeah, that'll like, especially like embolism, or what is it, deep thrombosis or whatever it is. I don't know.
That's
I
right.
don't know what
Yeah.
it's called. But yeah, that can like fuck you up. Basically, is that the right term? It fucks you up.
Yeah, Blake
Smoking is
says
good for you.
smoke. Yeah, smoking's good for you.
Yeah. Well, according to Vegas. And that's the thing.
Well,
It's like when you're willing to say some shit like that, it's like that's patently untrue. Come on.
yeah, and Faye, I've heard that spending more than 3 hours a week on Boyd is like smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Oh
Well, there goes
Lord.
my brain, I guess, or my lungs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that what the comments about like you can never start smoking because blah blah? That was funny. Yeah, I totally didn't even get that. I was like, what? What about my voice? Yeah. Did Dave meet Forrest? This was to happen this weekend. I have no idea.
Oh, hipster, that's interesting. Online law school. I wish her well. I hope that works out.
I hope so too. I
Wait, what?
mean, it's never too late to go back to school. You know,
That's right.
Wait, what?
Hipster Heaven
Vegas,
made a comment on side chat.
Yeah?
Vegas went back to
Sorry.
college, online courses.
That's wonderful.
Really?
Good.
Uh, Good for you. I commend
Makes
you
you
because I do not have the the patients or the I guess my ADD kicks in and sit there,
Yeah, so
concentrate on
she's
a
fine. Yeah, it's an online law school this fall.
good for her.
Yeah,
If,
doesn't she have to go to like? Doesn't she have to have the bachelor's first? Like,
Mm-mm. No, you can do
uh,
everything online.
yeah,
It's a program, and they,
yeah, but you
who
have
knows
to
if
have
she could,
the like you have to go to 4 years of college first, right?
you do the
well,
2 year,
it,
you get your general education out of the way. She might already have that
Well,
done.
yeah, I think it would depend upon what she has. I have no clue her academic background, but online, university online education, I think is more often from what I gather, and I'm probably wrong about this, but you have more undergraduate available courses than you do graduate,
Yeah,
yeah,
I would
yeah.
imagine. So, I
And
mean,
I'm
this might be a step toward other, perhaps another law school as well. I'm not sure.
yeah. I mean,
Well, usually they're all included. Like, say, for example, the University of Phoenix, and like, because that's where I went for a little bit. They incorporate law classes with your general ed classes. So you're not just taking general ed at once because most people get, who take general ed get tired of it and they'll drop out. So they mix it up a little bit and then you can do it, I think, within a 4 to 6 year period because they're broken down into separate, like shorter semesters or quarters and stuff like that. They're usually 16, I think 13 to 16 weeks long, or even
mm,
if not shorter than that.
Yeah.
yeah,
I've gone to so many schools, but never finished any of them.
I've done very
That's
little online courses. I've always been in brick and mortar schools, but I think this is what it's coming to, and I think it's probably a very good thing.
it
You
is,
know, I
but you
mean,
have to have the commitment to be able to sit there for the hours required. Like that's what I don't have
yes,
that or the time
yes.
to sit
And
there
when
in
you're at
front of a
home,
computer. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
you're right. And Diane, and
true.
when you're at home, you have to have the commitment or wherewithal to be able to say, look, I'll remain disciplined. I'm not going to get
yes.
distracted. You have to be just like you
That's
were
the
in
key
school.
word right there, the discipline. I
Yes.
cannot discipline myself to sit there and, because I start
Oh, it's
looking at the
hard.
walls and counting every
Yeah.
little line on the ceiling.
Very hard to do. It depends on how hungry you are too. I mean,
Yeah.
education is also about timing. If this is the right time in her life, then I'd say really go for it. A
Hmm.
lot of people right out of high school are not as strongly motivated, and there's a pretty high dropout rate in the BA programming.
Yeah.
Liberal arts and whatever. The more specialized areas that people go into, the more likely they're going to complete their course of study. But yeah, I mean, I
And
think
the
that's where we're
good thing with
going.
those
Very
online schools too is that they specialize just in those courses that you need to take. You don't have to take all those little. Like I
right.
was telling my mom today, I said, "Do you know how many times I had to take? I've learned about the Civil War from school to college to all this, and taking classes that you don't really, really need when
Yeah,
you're online."
exactly.
So, but she's hustler. I will say she does.
Yeah, that'll work in her favor. Very hard working.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would assume then she stays focused on her goal, and she will probably achieve it then. A lot of people
Hmm.
don't have that kind of focus, but that's wonderful if she does. That's tremendous.
But she needs to,
Yeah,
yeah, not let anybody bring her down.
I mean, yeah. I just okay. Like what I think Hipster said a few minutes ago. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that she like has claimed to had many online degrees. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm kind of getting at. Like,
Yeah.
she also claimed to have bought a multi-million-dollar house outright when um someone I don't know, maybe about a year ago posted on Twitter that she went into foreclosure and posted documents on that and posted that
Hmm.
she went to a school that wasn't accredited and all kinds of stuff like that. So I don't know. Mm, I just don't know.
Well, she started young. She had her career, she had a
Oh
different
yeah, no
career at
problem.
the time, and
Oh, by
living
the
in Vegas, those homes. There was a point a while back that to buy a beautiful old big huge house in Vegas was super easy. And as a first time buyer or whatever, you get a super, good loan if her credit's good and stuff like that. She was young, had a good down payment. It's possible,
but
and then,
pay it out. Like she didn't pay it outright. Like she claimed to paid cash for it and it went into foreclosure, so that can't be true.
well, if she paid for it outright, she could have always turned around and gotten a loan out on it and lost it. Who knows? You know, we only know excerpts of that history, and I don't know why I'm playing devil's advocate tonight. That's not my nature.
You're
Yeah,
such a
I kind
devil.
of
I
I kind of
know.
agree with hipster. Yeah, she's gonna yeah, like accrue more debt. Being an attorney is hard work. Yeah. That's pretty long. This whole
Well,
thing.
being
Yeah,
an
and
attorney
mhm.
pays well. There's one
Yeah,
upside.
Well, I mean, I don't know. So many people go to law school these days that it's like the market's kind of saturated. So it's like I thought about going to law school for a while actually. So, but yeah, everyone has a law degree. It seems now.
Yeah.
but sometimes even if you got a law degree, everybody that wants to be a lawyer wants to be a high-powered, money-making, machine. But sometimes there's those people that wouldn't mind being a lawyer, taking a lower cut and say helping a
That's
minority
right.
group or helping, women, for example, that were, let's say, truly in a real story of cat situation of a wife that gets, handed a divorce and can't afford to pay an attorney that will help them pro bono or will help them with the what is it the ones that are prisoners that are the Innocence Project. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not always doesn't always have to be about money.
Oh yeah.
There
If
are,
they
you
yeah
know,
give yeah. So
yeah,
And and I speak from
there are some
personal
I've heard about.
experience, so wanting to be a
Exactly.
lawyer. You know.
There are some people who have gone through law school who have become like an ombudsman, or people who
Hmm.
have a real compassionate bent, and they're going to get into working for um, justice for the community in cases like
Right.
working to set things right with big corporations like Monsanto, for example.
Hmm.
And we don't have enough of those attorneys because, yeah,
No.
there's a lot more people are geared toward money and greed, obviously.
Exactly.
And there's a very, I mean, there is definitely a reason why people vilify attorneys, and they say the attorneys are the worst people on earth. And
Hmm.
many of them deserve the reputation they have, but there are some good ones. And,
Right.
in fact, I'm working with, I'll share this real quick. I'm working with about 3 judges and a whole bunch of attorneys and some survivors of the church pedophilia scandal. And I'm the
Oh.
one putting together the website, and we meet every so often. And I can tell you from working with this couple of the judges real directly, who are all attorneys, of course, and they're very, very precise. It almost reminds me of people who are dealing with autism. They're on that spectrum, and
Hmm.
they sometimes miss the human component when they're dealing with people. And I think that's oftentimes one of the liabilities when things are so, uh, focused on what is lawful or not, and the legalese makes it even more confusing. And,
Yeah.
the whole humanity gets kind of, it drops away, and that's
Hmm.
not good. But there are some that are working hard to try to set things right, and that was the Achilles heel in the Roman Catholic Church, is the pedophilia scandal, and that's been going on for many decades.
Yeah.
yeah.
But there are people of goodwill, and they're trying to secure records in the archdiocese. It's just
Mm-mm.
amazing what's happening. And I heard a horrible story recently coming out of West Virginia. There was a bishop in West Virginia in the Roman Catholic Church who, I guess what happened was it has to do with pedophilia, and it also has to do with misappropriation of church funds. There was a New York heiress, I just off the top of my head remember about the story, who had a nice relationship with one of the bishops years and years ago in West Virginia. And so she left in her will most of her estate to the Church of West Virginia and a large piece of property in the state of Texas. And at the time, it was just a large piece of property. Well, years passed and they found oil. And so the church in West Virginia became, they set up because of the money coming in from the oil, I guess you'd call it a heritage trust fund of some sort. And the money was just building and building and building. Well, they finally got a crooked bishop in office just recently who's been removed, who would send out money and reimburse himself and use resources from that particular source. It made me so angry to hear this. And then he would pay off other bishops. The things he did to manipulate people would just make you so furious. And finally, this person was caught and removed. But they can go on for years. And so, you have to have checks and balances in place. You have to have legal recourse. The church is an institution that really has very little checks and balances. And that's the big problem right now. And that's where things are starting to change.
That's wild.
Yeah, it really is just a horrific story. I mean, I can see why people put their walking shoes on and say, I'm joining the alumni society. Who'd want to belong to an organization that has a lot of corruption? I can't blame them at all.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, that's crazy, hipster, by the way. Like, can you, like, link the article? Or, like, I don't know, can you tell us what it is?
What? Say again, Faye?
Oh,
what was that, Faye?
Hipster said, I went to Catholic school growing up that was founded by a huge big time pedophile. He was later excommunicated by the Pope. They did a story about our school in Huffington Post. Huge scandal.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to read that.
Wow.
That sounds very interesting. And
yeah,
Blake
if you can
just,
share that.
Yeah, and Blake is just being hilarious tonight.
Oh, she said she can link us. That would be great.
Oh, sweet.
Huffington
Awesome.
Post is a very good resource.
Totally.
Yeah.
They brainwashed us. Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, I was in a religious order, and there were guys that I knew. I didn't know at the time what they had done in their past, but they worked, like some of them worked in residential schools for First Nation people in Canada, and they were abusing these children. And some of them went to prison for it for years. And it just, when you realize, and I didn't at the time, but I look back and I go, there were some flags that pop up, some behaviors that seemed out of sorts. And it's just awful, it's like the perfect storm. You have these guys living in an unaccountable situation, usually right next door to a school, and they might be working directly with children. And where's the checks and balances to protect people? There just weren't any.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm trying to also, like, good points. Also, I'm trying to catch up with side chat as well. Yeah, Blake say pro bono. Isn't that what Casey Anthony had? Well, the rumors I've heard. Yeah, we're meanies. We're big meanies.
Yeah.
We're such meanies. Oh my god, you guys are so mean. Oh my god.
Faye's turning me to the dark side.
I love it. Yes.
She must be changing something because I'm here devil's advocate playing both sides, and I'm just like, that's not me. So I don't know what's going on with me today.
Well, thank you, Blake. That's kind of you.
It's all good.
I love listening to you, Star.
Well,
So
I think
and so smart, and just so your voice is just like so.
Whoa, Hipster says
relaxing.
they made us go on week-long retreats where he couldn't speak and they did exorcisms on us while we slept. Whoa. Is that like one of those like wait. Oh my god. Is that like one of those like scared straight things? Because I know that they have those like wilderness programs for like teenagers and stuff where they like, you know, end up putting kids in cages and shit and I don't know. One
Wow,
from way back.
hipster. That sounds like a
Yeah.
cult. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
I have not heard of
Yeah.
that. That's awful.
Whoa.
When I was a kid, I belonged to a Boy Scout group, and we had one time a priest and one of the scout leaders come by. They visit all the families to invite us along on this summer camp out. And I asked my dad after they left, they told me what it was all about. He said, no, you can't go. And I was like upset. And later we found out that in fact, the priest had molested, I was a kid in my class. And they all tried to hush that up as well, which is even a bigger problem because then that offender goes on to offend against more children. But
Yeah.
my dad must have noticed something was out of sorts, and so we have to be the eyes and the ears in the computer in the community to protect those that are vulnerable.
Yeah, by the way, I didn't realize that you weren't a mod. So when you posted that link, like people can't click it. So I just reposted it. But yeah, I'll see your mod now. So you should be able to like post links. So yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow. Cool punk skaters like help. Yeah, that's pretty much yeah, was my vibe.
And I had a messed up religious growing up, so I was Catholic on the weekends, Catholic at home, Christian school throughout the day, learning the teachings of totally different things. So I became atheist when I graduated from high school. Then I graduated to agnostic, and then now I'm just a believer in a I believe in God, but I talk straight to Him. I don't go through saints. I don't go through. I just talk, and it works.
Diane. I think that is so healthy. You know, there's a cycle that goes on emotionally, intellectually, even spiritually in our lives as we get older. And I think
Hmm.
that's very, very good to hear. I hope a lot of people can listen to what you're saying. Um, but, you know, there are kids that they leave high school and the ones that end up going up to university and take a first year course in the Bible as religious literature, let's say that. And
Okay.
they come home after taking that 3 month or 6 month course and they declare to their parents, Mom, Dad, I'm an atheist, because they
Hmm.
have their eyes opened.
Yeah.
They truly have been
Or they're
enlightened.
so confused. I was actually confused, because you have so many different teachings
Right.
that I was like, I'm done, and it just I had so many questions, and it was eye opening when I left, and I did go to college, and I was just like, no, mm-mm. But as I got older, things just changed.
One of the key things that I think people have to eventually come to, and some don't their whole lives, but they have to wake up. And that means not just their eyes are open, but they begin to think for themselves because our whole lives, especially in the area of religion, I've seen attorneys, um, defer to someone else because they're wearing a Roman collar. And that is immature and it's sick. And we all have to
Yeah.
think because we start off with our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, trusted authorities, priests, whoever, nuns, whoever they may be. Our ministers are telling us what to do, what to think, and how to believe. Well, at some point, we have to think for ourselves. And I think
Hmm.
that is the awakening that everyone at some point in their life needs to have.
Yeah.
And, it's not a bad thing. We're going to put aside our old way of thinking, our childish former way of thinking for something much, much more important. And we, for the first
Hmm.
time in our life, take responsibility for what we believe.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I did, even with my mom, that, how can you do this to me? And, that's not the way you were raised. And it just took me a while to really figure it out. And
Exactly.
I'm happy and I'm glad at the point where I am. And, it works for me, as I say, and I'm happy and I don't go to a church. I don't do any of that because I don't feel like I need to. I just
Mhm.
have my own relationship with God and that's the way.
That's great. If it works for you, then you
And
got
my
what you need.
daughter's the
That's wonderful.
yeah, and my daughter is the same way. She's 14. And then I always get the, well, you didn't baptize her. You should have baptized her before she was a year old, and this and that, and she didn't do her confirmation or her communion. I'm like, but she still believes in God, and she still talks, and she has her own way, and she'll figure it out. She'll have the same, like you said, enlightenment as I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hipster says her school taught her that kissing will land you in hell. It's a mortal sin. Messed up. Actually, you're right. And then I agree with you. Real hell was not having anyone to kiss. That was the real hell. They never told you that.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Quoting Vivi just saying.
man. Well,
Okay, well, I
I'm
think
gonna get going because I might gotta take my daughter to tutoring early in the morning. I don't know why she chose
yeah,
to do 9 o'clock on Saturdays, but it was
yeah,
a pleasure speaking with you guys and hanging out with everybody. And
yeah.
I'm enlightened in several
Me
things,
too.
and it
Yeah,
was
thank you for
fun.
coming on here and yeah,
It
helping
was,
me try to sort all this stuff out.
oh, no problem,
Yeah,
Yeah,
anytime.
thank you, Diane.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
thank you,
thank you,
Stellar.
Diane.
And I'll see you in side chats and in your next hangout. Good night,
Sounds great.
everybody. Okay,
Good
bye. Good
night.
good
night.
night. Yeah, I feel like it's, I don't know, probably time to, I don't know, let's do a close since we've, stopped with the breaking news and I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. You never know.
Right.
I mean,
What?
like Delin said earlier, like you never know. In the next 10 minutes, something could change, and you never know. We can make drastic changes on here in people's lives in the next 10 minutes. Who knows?
Absolutely. Um,
Mhm. Yeah, good point, Punk. Totally. Blake, you've been cracking me up tonight, Blake. Seriously. Okay. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Do we just?
are you gonna shut it down?
I guess. Cause yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit.
yeah.
Um, I mean, you know what's weird? It's almost 2 o'clock here in Seattle, but the people that are on here from the East Coast is like, how do they do it?
I know, right? It's crazy. I don't know. Like I have no idea. I'm always
I don't
amazed.
either.
I'm like this tires me out. I don't know how people are like, like this I mean, God, like when I was at, Voodoo Donuts at 3 a.m., it's like I was like, oh, this is a bit much, but there were people on there who, it was 6 a.m. for them.
Right.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
how.
don't get it. You have to be a champion athlete to stay up on the
Yeah.
East Coast 3 hours or yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. These people are hardcore. Mhm.
Well, I
But
really
yeah.
appreciate you having the hangout, and this was a really good, I think it was an important
Yeah.
topic in
I'm so
general
glad
to
you
talk
got
about.
I'm so glad we got you on here finally.
Yeah, finally. And I still don't know what the problem was with my desktop computer, but I'll figure that out. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, it could just be one of those like weird YouTube things. I don't know why I don't have the control room option on here suddenly because I can't control my levels or anyone else's levels,
Oh,
and usually I
really?
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I mean, usually if I could have the control room, I could easily turn myself up so that you guys could hear me easily. I don't know why it's not. It's a mess.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm on one of these what is it? Like a pad or whatever they call these little things. I
Oh,
never used this stupid thing, but it worked pretty well for me. It
yeah.
let me on where my regular desktop wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why. That's so weird. It's probably just some weird YouTube thing. They're breaking everything now with the like I don't know, abbreviated sub counts or whatever. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
I did hear recently, though, I think it was a day or two ago, that YouTube is going to crack down on, well, actually, I guess it's what's happened already on Facebook and Twitter. Finally, YouTube's going to crack down on white nationalists and the
Finally.
skinheads and yeah, that whole group. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't, but like I heard something about like I don't know, about like the whole push towards like advertiser friendly content has sort of apparently now we're learning been about that, or trying to like steer
Okay.
people away from the like sensationalist content or whatever. But I mean, they're doing a shit
Yeah.
job with it. But good. I mean, at least they're trying to, you know, correct that.
Well, and hate crimes are, they're just skyrocketing. I was hearing some
Yeah.
statistics that just blew me away, but and even those aren't
Yeah.
hate crimes, acts of hatred, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because of freedom of speech, you almost have to incite the violence before it's a crime. But yeah, I mean, they're on the rise. It just, it's geometric. It's pretty, should be alarming to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's something that's been like a concern of mine for like a couple of years now. Well, I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, I mean, and I don't know when I heard this, but I think you as well, I'm sure we all have. I've noticed a movement afoot that's been around for several years at least, maybe longer, about people objecting to having to be politically correct. In other words, I'm not going to worry about what I say. I want the freedom to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And that worried me when I started hearing that. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
so
Like,
let's
yeah,
just
like,
be insensitive.
yeah, like, okay, the word for being politically incorrect is offensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's well put.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're just being offensive then.
Yeah, I don't want to work real hard. I just want the freedom to be able to say whatever I want, insult who I want. And please don't
Mm-hmm.
tell me, that I need to watch that.
Yeah, without making me feel bad for, the ignorant shit that I'm saying.
Yeah. And the first
How dare you, you
political,
snowflake? Yeah.
exactly. The first politically correct environment was your home. When our parents said, you won't say that in my house, you know? And so
Mm-hmm.
why would we rebel against that? That's kind of like common sense. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's been that movement, and people just want to say a rough cut of whatever they feel, whatever they're thinking. They want to blurt
Mm-hmm.
that out, and please don't anyone stop me. Well, if
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of society they want, then,
Yeah, you have to deal with the consequences of it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
it's,
Yeah, it's not even that.
but I
It's just
guess
it's like, oh, don't make me even have to think about what I'm saying. Like, don't make me have to think
exactly,
about the implications of what I'm saying. I should just be able to spew whatever I want, whatever like comes to my head, or like, yeah, it comes to mind in the moment without even thinking it through. Like,
exactly.
oh, and if anyone says anything, then oh, I'm somehow being oppressed. Yeah.
Right. And one of the objections I've heard is, oh, you can't take it, you're a snowflake. I think, well,
Hmm.
excuse me, but let's, what exactly is a snowflake? Is someone who has human sensitivity to people who are being put down? Yeah, I guess I am that. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like
I intend on continuing.
And the thing is, like, those people who call everyone else snowflakes are the ones who are so, like, easily offended. Like, you just have to say, again, you just have to point out how, their false, like, or faulty logic is actually faulty, and they get all upset.
Right.
So, who's the snowflake?
Exactly. Yeah, thin-skinned. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well, I argue in favor of thin skin in the sense that you retain your human sensitivities.
Like
Um,
compassion.
if
Yeah.
we want to drag our knuckles and grunt and groan and use four-letter words, I wouldn't say we were advancing. We're going the wrong way in evolution. I mean, I don't think that's a society that anybody would be proud of. As far as
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned, I think that we have to be vigilant about being compassionate and caring community. If it's something that we
Yeah.
would like for our family, then we should want that for the rest of society,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
And one of the odd things is, in order to
Yeah,
train
isn't
young
he
men,
right?
and what's that?
I'm saying, Punk says, "Goddamn, Stella, you're illogical," and I find that refreshing. I'm like, isn't he, Punk? Right?
Oh, Pug, yeah, I appreciate that. I try. They say, common sense isn't very common anymore, but I think we all have to try. But I was gonna say, when the military prepares people to be good soldiers, especially if you enter into combat, you have to vilify the enemy because we
Mm-hmm.
don't have a natural setting in our humanity to say, oh, yeah, I got to kill that person over there. That just
Yeah.
isn't part of how we are. You have to be trained. Your mind has to be formed in such a way that you no longer see your enemy as actually human at all. And when society begins to do that, and we say, well, those people don't look like us, so we can overlook the brown skinned people who are being thrown into cages at the border because they're not
Mm-hmm.
like us. And as soon as
Yeah.
we begin to think anything similar to that, I think we're in trouble. We're going down the wrong path. If we say, well, you know what, if they look like Norwegians and they're all, white or whatever, I'd probably feel differently. We need to check ourselves at the door then. We really need to ask ourselves, why is there a difference in terms of how I would respond according to someone's skin color? I do think it's just an ongoing awareness that we have to keep our sensitivities in check.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the consequence is pretty fatal.
Yeah.
I mean, what the
Absolutely.
consequence is Nazi Germany. That's
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, as I've mentioned, this a history buff about, and like, yeah, especially this kind of thing, because like, I know something I find so fascinating about that point in time is like, how do you brainwash an entire nation that's modern and educated, and we're seeing it happen right now.
We are. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I
kind
mean,
of
that'd be a
chilling that
great
people don't make,
conversation.
yeah, that like people don't make that connection, but it's happening.
Right.
Like, how is it not happening? We're
I
watching
and
it.
Faye, that's a great question, and I don't know for sure about the answers, but we have a whole generation that is distracted in terms of technology and mass
Mhm.
media. A whole generation, many generations actually, not just one. And we're deferring our thinking to, I'm trying to think of Noam Chomsky. He said,
Mhm.
it's manufactured consent.
Yeah.
So we have many generations that are distracted, and our thinking has been done for us. And
Mhm.
so, like I said, you throw mud at a wall often enough, some of it sticks. And we hear things in the media often enough, we begin to believe what the media tells us.
Yeah.
And there are good sources in media, and there are not such good sources. And so we don't even know where to turn sometimes. And I think, yeah, we got a big challenge in front of us. But just the fact that so many young people today, I always found it interesting. When I was a kid, we had, I remember the advent of headphones, and you'd see people
Mhm.
walking down the street, and they wouldn't hear you if you said hello. Like, hey, you'd have to get in their face and they have to see you because their headphones were on so loud. And that's when I was a kid, even. So
Yeah.
for a very long time, we've been dealing with that, with
Yeah.
distraction.
Definitely.
And there's a lot of problems with that. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, you know, there are politicians that base their whole like strategy now on distracting people from the real issues.
absolutely. Yeah,
Mhm.
and if our consent is manufactured, if our belief system is kind of manufactured for us, then I think that we have to ask ourselves, um, how did I arrive at what I believe? And you know, one of the signs, the telltale signs of brainwashing, is that people who respond in an exaggerated way, say they get really angry because you're pushing a different agenda. I mean, the other night I did something on global warming, and there
Mhm.
were some folks that took up exception to that, which is fine. But then I wanted to say to them, ask yourself why you're bent out of shape. I didn't do it, but I should have. why is it you feel so strongly over something that is a matter of perhaps even scientific data? Why would
Hmm.
we should be bent out of shape, I suppose, about the effects on our planet, on our Mother Earth. Uh,
Yeah.
but some people just get angry, and they get red in the face, their blood pressure climbs,
Hmm.
and the effects on them is just amazing. And I guess that's a sign you have to kind of check yourself at the door and say, why is it having that effect on me? Why am I getting so wound
Yeah.
up? Well,
Absolutely. Yeah.
actually, yeah, that's a sign of
Hmm.
brainwashing. When you
Yeah.
have very little investment personally, but you still have that um, concomitant effect of being extremely angry and reactionary, that's what
Hmm.
happens to people who get brainwashed. And what's one
Yeah.
of the signs of it? It's a really
Yeah.
interesting thing in psychology just to look into
Oh yeah.
what are the causes and effects of brainwashing? You go,
Oh yeah.
whoa, we're getting
Yeah.
brainwashed today. We are.
Oh yeah. No, I totally find that like super fascinating. Like that's a big part of, well, kind of a big part of why I started doing this, because like, you, I don't know, like if you just point out sort of logical contradictions and people get angry about it, that's a sign of cognitive dissonance, which is
That's
a
right.
sign of brainwashing. Yeah. So yeah, when you sort of point out these sort of yeah, internal inconsistencies and things that don't, add up logically, and people get angry about it, and they want to like attack you, it's like, well, why do you want to do that? What if I said like that's would make you feel that this is an attack on you? Yeah, I find that stuff fascinating. I always have. Yeah. Like, I mean,
It
I've studied,
really, yeah.
like, yeah, I've like done research about like, thought reform in like Korea, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. Chairman Mao kind of
It
things,
would
like,
make a
fascinating.
fascinating, yeah, if we did an evening on that sometime. I remember in
Hmm.
a sociology study, they asked a group of college seniors, I think it was, somewhat of a blind study. I mean, they knew what they did was they said to them, um, we have $10,000 that we can allocate um, for one of three things, and we want you to tell us where you think the money should go. And so people would say, okay, to one of the three. One of them was um, in Africa, there are people dying of a famine and starvation. The crops aren't growing, and the famine is awful. It's been going on for years, and so that money could help save lives. That's one. Number two, um, there's foreign exchange students that are going to have to be sent home because they're losing the funding necessary to keep them in school over here. That's number two. You put $10,000 toward that. Number three, our copy machine is broke down, and we use that every day. So pick number one, Africa, people dying. Number two, foreign exchange students that need to, remain in school. Number three, your copy machine. Faye, where do you think the majority of students put the $10,000 in their vote?
I'm gonna guess the copy machine.
Exactly. And what they, of course, concluded was that people have a tendency of addressing problems that are closest underneath their nose
Hmm.
and what affects them personally. I
Yeah.
mean, which is a sign of we badly need to make sure that we understand what compassion is all about, and that who our sisters and brothers are. And we're not necessarily separated by distance, but in people's minds we are. And that it was a real study that was done. I mean,
Yeah.
there wasn't a $10,000 allocation, but they
Yeah.
pretended that there was. And what would they do with it?
Yeah.
But what a tale! What a insightful study came out of that.
Yeah. That
And
was
so people are going
fascinating.
to, yeah, we attend to what affects us the most. So we're largely self-concerned people.
Hmm.
At least we know that. And can we do anything about
Yeah.
it? Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like knowing that we have that bias, that allows us to also correct it, and like to at least
Yes.
make allowances for that, and for the fact that people do have these sort of yeah, these sort of like psychological biases towards themselves, and how we can, yeah, like how do you say, like how we can, ugh, I totally lost the word, but like how we can forecast for that and how we can like somehow
Yes,
mollify that or like nullify it.
exactly. Exactly. Well, and there's so many examples. I mean, I got a whole bunch of stories I could share, but the same thing happened in the Vietnam War. You remember the My Lai massacre? Remember that event?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, Lieutenant Calley. I mean, this is like fresh in my head because this was going on when things meant a lot because I was a very young person at that time. But they had a trial after My Lai, and that's where Vietnamese civilians, were put into a, hole in the ground, and then old people, young people, males, females, everyone was shot. Uh,
Hmm.
and Lieutenant Kelly, who was in charge of that particular massacre, was asked
Right.
in a trial, why did he do that? Why did he allow himself? He said, well, my superiors were telling me that's how it should be. I should take care of the problem. And there were other people who were there. Like there was one soldier, I remember his name, Michael Bernhardt. And he said, when that happened, he said, like if you hear a Vietnamese coming at you yelling Dong Hoi, he said, I just shot above them. I never shot at them anymore. He said they were running their war. I was going to fight my war. And the difference between Lieutenant Calley, who said I was doing what I was told, and Michael Bernhardt, who said um, my moral compass is going to direct me to fight my own way, is in a sense a point you reach. And it's why they don't do a draft past the age of 26, because the brain is still growing and actually physically growing until age 25 or older. And the connections and synapses are being made, and moral uh, judgment is not as mature as it would be when you're in your mid 20s as it is when you're, say, only 19 or 20. So you get somebody like Lieutenant Calley, who is not emotionally as put together as this Michael Bernhardt was. And he's going to
Yeah.
make decisions. In fact, those are the people the Army wants, because they don't want you questioning their decision. They want you to
Hmm.
follow through.
Yeah.
So, you get older people and they're going to say, wait a minute, I don't buy into this.
Yeah.
So, these are all considerations at that time. So when we have people making decisions politically, um, different individuals who represent their constituents, they may not be looking out for the welfare of other people. They might be looking out for number one, for their job
Yeah.
and their
Hmm.
electability. And a
Yeah.
lot of it having to do with the fact that they're just not, uh, they're not, they call it stage development. They haven't grown up enough emotionally, psychologically, and in
Totally.
other ways.
Yeah. I feel like I just got out of that. Like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
being in your
Yeah.
20s and being malleable and whatnot.
But
Yeah,
it's exciting, isn't it, Faye? I mean, we have,
totally.
um, they do say there's no time to waste, because it's like clay. Clay is it malleable? What's the term for it? You can,
I think so. Yeah, I think malleable. Or like, yeah,
yeah,
it
if you
can
wait
mold.
too long, it gets
Yeah.
in the air, it gets hard, and you have to put copious amounts of water or moisture with it and soften it up. But people are like that, and we can't wait too long to instill in them some type of humanity, moral virtue, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We have to do that.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah, well, I think I'm kind of zoning out a bit now because I'm a little
Me too.
exhausted.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad we got you on here.
Yeah. Thank you, Faye. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you
you're
for doing the
awesome.
hangout.
Like, yeah, hey, no, seriously, thank you so much for like, yeah, coming on and like sharing, yeah, your perspective on this whole thing because, yeah, I always love how you tie things together and very cool.
Absolutely. And
As
thank you.
always.
I appreciate that. Refreshing. We don't get hangouts very often like this. I really appreciate that you have
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do my best.
them.
Thank you.
have
And
a
yeah,
have a good
hopefully,
night.
yeah, you too. Hopefully next time people will be able to like hear me, I'll be able to adjust the actual levels. But
Exactly. Have a
hmm,
good one, Faye. And thank you to Side Chat. Good night.
yeah, you too, Steph. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Good night, everyone. I guess let's see. yeah, I don't know how to really end this. I guess there are a lot of open threads, but like, I don't know, Stellar pulls everything together so nicely and makes it so universal that I don't. Sorry, I hope you guys can hear me. It's only showing up a little bit, so I don't need to turn the I like socials. Yeah, for real. Especially like in the Senate. Oh my god, a mess. Mitch McConnell, oh, come on, it's a mess. Ugh, there's a lot of stuff we need to change, but I feel like I could talk about that for another like 2 or 3 hours, and it would be just, oh my god. You guys don't need that. Not tonight, anyway. But yeah, I was a dumbass in my 20s too. Also, so far in my 30s. So, you know. Womp womp. Okay, so thank you everyone for being here. Thank you everyone for being awesome. Thank you for trying to help me figure out what the hell is even going on with this latest development with Kat. I appreciate it. You guys are so awesome and so smart, and I love you all as usual. You guys are the best, the greatest. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Good night, everyone. See you soon, I'm sure.